Hello, everyone. I am Sandy, also known as DM Beach. I am the DM of this one shot, Voidwalkers, and I'm joined by some very lovely artists, illustrators, and writers. If you'd all like to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Holly. I use she, her pronouns mostly, but I don't mind too much, really. I am Holly McKend on Twitter and Holly Doodles on Instagram. And I'm playing Athra, who's a Wood Elf barbarian.
Hello, my name is Liz. I also have she, her pronouns. I am zombie octopus pretty much like everywhere, to be honest. And I will be playing Doma, who is your resident mechanical robot-legged rogue.
Hi, I'm Leo. I use they, them pronouns. My handles are Crew with 2 V's. And my character is the Rootinous Tootinous Tiefling Flint, who's a monk of the Soul Knife, I think it's called. Yes, we have the Soul Knife.
Hey, I'm Harry. I use they, them pronouns. Harry Draws on the internet, everywhere. Harry, like Hari. And I'm playing Johnny, who's a robot necromancer, a sweet, lovely robot. And they're definitely not evil.
100%.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. They, them pronouns, or she, her is okay too. I am RB Illustration on all my social media. It hasn't got a dash in it like my Twitch name. I don't know why that's got a dash in it, to be honest. And I'm going to be playing Neon, who is a terror drone or a robot scout rogue.
Oh, me. Sorry. Hi, I'm Georgia. I tend to forget things a lot. I go by she, her. They, them's fine too. I'm top banana _ jam on most things. There we get the accent. I'm Praline Alacrem. I am the gunslinger who is also a human. Yeehaw.
I love that you're the last person left, and you're like, "What, me? Me?"
I guess because I'm in between.
Yeah, it threw me off. I'm like, wait, DM went first anyway.
Yeah. I have always wondered, before we go into it, why Top Banana? Is there a reason you settled on Top Banana as your name?
It was my username on DeviantArt when I was like 12, and it's kind of like it's just like a term like top banana. Like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, like your art is top banana. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, and I just
Not something I've ever heard anyone say in real life, but
I have the Jelly Bellies.
Mm-hmm.
I have a mug that has that written on it, and I still have it. So
Fair enough.
I like bananas.
Where did the jam part come in?
Because some arsehole took top banana.
Oh.
That's that one. Banana jam just sounds hidden disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
I'm not. We're gonna move away from this.
Yeah, no, good.
Indeed.
So last session we met our Voidwalkers in SG-199, a space station just on the outer rim of the Galactic Empire known as the Seers, as they took on a mission to assassinate Chief Weapon Engineer Iso Drak. It is believed that she carries on her plans for new weaponry that might mean the end of the Voidwalkers' free society. She will also be at an unveiling of a hyperspeed train that joins up 2 major megacities on Mercia 7. The group, after getting to know each other a little bit at Poe's Noodle Shop, were stopped by a gang who thought the job was theirs, but the crew quickly eviscerated them with ease. After a quick eviscerating, you decided to head out of the space station that night, packed up the essentials and loaded on board, and we left the session with them leaving for hyperspace. So I'm going to get my water before I continue.
My notes for Flint, like I just started typing up the notes on his old note thing, and it is messed up. It's so messed up. It's like I'll type it and it'll hop up to the line before it is in a weird font, and I can't control where the words are going. So this bodes well for this session.
Oh, you mean literally messed up? Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say that's in character for Flint?
No.
Okay.
Didn't sound convinced there.
So, as the Voidwalkers logo comes up on screen, it fades away as the camera pans over a robotic arm, then down to a hand. The fingers in the hand split into a whole other set of fingers as the sound of clacking booms around this large laboratory. The camera zooms out as we see Isodrak holding coffee in the other hand and typing with the other. Her auburn hair tied back and her elven ears pinned back by her goggles. Power on! As you see behind her what looks like a giant engine powering up as it disappears in a rippling effect. Then reappears and begins to power down again. She smirks. A couple of adjustments, then the weapon should be ready for a test fire soon. As the camera pans over her face with a smirk, it hard cuts back to SG-199, the space station where we just left, as we see our party beginning to jump to hyperspace. So I will move everyone over to the battle map of the spaceship that we have.
Woo.
I don't know if you just got a shiver because of the
I was just showing my excitement for the ship.
So, as Flint and Athra, I believe, were at the front in the cockpit, flying the ship away. We also, I think there's always different visuals of how we see hyperspace. I always like it being like very weird and trippy and psychedelic as we're going faster than light, and just like all warbly. So that's probably what you see when you look out the windows, in the cockpit, which is like mostly entirely this glass. So we have a 2-week journey ahead of us, where we have 1 week of full hyperspeed and then a rest for the engines to cool down, and then another jump for hyperspeed. At this point, you've been on the ship for a couple of hours. Is there a bed that everyone picks out that you'd want to pick out?
Yes. Let me just get my map up.
Do they all have windows in them?
No.
No beans.
The only main window is in the cockpit, or the main door leading out to space. Down here, next to the gun turret.
I'd quite like bedroom 6. That seems like a nice number.
Are they all like identical little capsule pods kind of thing, just like up next to each other?
Yeah, there's inside the rooms are a bed, a small desk, and a stool. I think in these ones, like we've seen the spaceship before, as the last couple of scenes we had of Johnny going through the main frames of the ship, looking in to see if the ship is any secrets or anything, or it's a standard heavy battle cruiser ship, but it's very pristine and nice, and was stolen from the Seer Empire. So it's all very clean, very nice, very uniform. So the bedrooms, I think some of them have the window that can change into different things, like the fake windows.
Is it like very like kind of white, super bright lights?
Yes.
Sterile, yeah, okay.
Very, very clean.
So relaxing. I think Flint would probably want to stay in bedroom 1 or 5, just so they're closest to the stairs so they can get to the cockpit easily.
Sure.
He'll see if Afra's okay with that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
How big are the beds? Are they like just
They're
little
singles.
single beds?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
But wait, do we need all the rooms? You could steal a bed from one of the rooms.
No, it's fine. Flint will just sleep on top of Afra and rest his head upon his pillowy bosoms.
Solid choice.
Which I believe
Very
there is art
comfortable.
for. So.
Yes.
Already.
So his Holly just drew it today.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Was lightning.
So yeah, we got Praline in 6.
Sounds nice.
We've got Flint and Athra also in 5. Doma, where would you like to be?
3. I was gonna say 2, but I don't like even numbers, so 3.
Is that a Liz thing or a Doma thing?
That's both of us thing. Why? You can have a D&D character, let him have your own weird, like, quirks.
Yeah.
Feel that.
And the robots just sleep out in space. Yeah. I'm nervous to ask where Johnny sleeps, so I'll go with Neon first.
You just wake up in the night and they're just standing directly outside your door. Just staring.
Whoa.
Come on, that's it.
No, I don't think that Johnny like naturally picks a room, but if everyone else does, and if Neon does,
Hmm.
they're like the last one in, right? They're standing outside the door to that corridor, seeing everyone like picking a room, maybe people like fighting about it or
Mhm.
discussing which one will be best. I think they wait until everyone else has got a room.
So, Neon, which room would you like?
Neon's gonna pick room 4. I feel like on like previous journeys they've been like maybe like the staff cabins were at the back, so that's what they're kind of going for.
Nice. Like it. So, Johnny, do you sleep in the bathroom?
Yeah, I
or...
guess Johnny like walks down to the end of the corridor, but like they look a bit lost, and they take bedroom 8, but they literally like they walk in and like stand perfectly still in it. No, I feel like they feel a little bit like awkward, but also excited. Like no one's offered them a room before.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta be nice to the robots so they don't kill us.
I think they were just. I don't know if Doma's ship was like one person, one bedroom or whatever, but I think Johnny didn't. They were just like plugged in, standing up.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah.
it's a new level of like personalization than they're used to.
So yeah, it's like you're traveling through space. You've got the coordinates in, so you don't really have to touch the cockpit at all, or fly, anything. Is there any like little details of your characters that you put into the room, like a picture or a plant, or anything like that?
Are we saying that everyone has those screens where you can play whatever out the window? Because I want to know what's on everyone's screens.
Yeah, is that as well? Like you'd have like potentially like a memory stick that you can go on and change it up, or download your favorite Windows screens.
Is it like a karaoke machine where some of it's like weirdly out of date?
Yeah.
Or like the selection isn't as big as you wanted?
It's a cityscape or a forest, and you're like, God damn it. Yeah. So, is there any like weird details? Oh my god! Thank you.
Whoa.
Thank you for the
Hey.
subscription.
Woo.
So yeah, apparently there is. Oh my goodness! Hold on.
Is it all night?
Yeah, well, it's the intro
Ah.
music. Fucking shit myself. Why is it playing? That's so terrible.
It's scaring people, Sandy. It's scaring people.
I did.
What are you supposed to do there?
I think you should be able to turn it off in your Streamlabs, like the sound.
There isn't. It's not active.
We're
Oh.
professionals.
It's haunted.
It is. So do you like how you have your
It was
sources?
Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny did it.
Do you like how you have your sources and you have to put in your alerts? I guess.
Yeah.
It's not in there.
Is it not in your like the second box next to the sources? Like you've got like your windows on the left box and then
Yeah.
there's the middle box. It's got like alert box.
Yeah, it's not there.
Oh, I don't know what you've done.
I've broken it. So anyway, while this goes on, yeah. What does Johnny pick like any specific screen? I can just imagine it being like, you know, that horrible fluorescent lighting in here, and it's just like you hear that like slow like from the lights as like Johnny like clicks through the different screens.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have anything to unpack, right?
Mhm.
So they just stand alone in the room for a long time, and then they like tentatively like sit down on the bed. And I think if anyone like comes by, or like, I think that are the doors like slidey?
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
of course, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I feel like they don't think to close the door necessarily. So if anyone goes past, they can see. And Johnny is just, I think they are, yeah, just like flicking through the channels, but like not settling on anything.
I could
They
just
don't-
imagine like Johnny flicking through the channels, and occasionally a channel is just like showing horrible, horrible images.
I think
And
they
then
leave it on like
skip past it.
static, just like.
Don't write my character. They're just a curious baby.
Yeah, it's true.
We're getting into some poltergeist levels of like content.
I'm scared by Johnny. Okay.
They're not used to being able to customize anything, so
Mhm.
they're just like looking through, but they don't know what they like.
True.
That's kind of cute, but
It's extremely cute, and I'll have no more said about it. I want to know what everyone has on their screens.
Yeah, Neon. We'll go down the line. Neon, what would you? Is there any like little personal things that you take with you, or what do you put on your screen?
I feel like Neon would put like an image of one of the places they've been for their job, so like a nice like holiday scene, like maybe like a tropical place or something like that.
Mhm.
Nice and sunny and cheerful. And I think that they'd bring like when they get in the room, they'd like put their jacket up nicely and hang it up in if there's like a wardrobe or something, or just a hook or something, they sort that out nicely. And then they'd have like a little maybe like one of those picture frames that like cycles through pictures, and they'd have more like photos they've taken with people like ex-colleagues or friends that they met during their work, like funny like selfies and stuff, or just things that they saw, like aesthetic photos. And I think I can picture Neon just like taking a little plant out of their bag and putting it on the side. Not sure how it survived the
I
journey.
love Neon. This is so good.
Very good. I like, just because, you know, robot side of thinking and the way that like Neon thinks is, you know, programmed. Like, what are aesthetic photos for Neon? Are they like very like ordered, like very very straight lines, or things, or is it like more nature themed, or is it like?
That's an interesting thought. I feel like they'd have a very good eye for composition. So there'd be like pictures that were taken very quickly, or so neon things, but to anyone looking, they might look more professional because they've considered like the composition and the contrast and everything. So they might be like very sort of like if they were urban scenes, very straight lines, not anything that looks spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
I think I imagine that it's from the way that Neon speaks, they seem like very like advanced, and also like it would make sense that they have an eye for like fashion, or do you know what I mean? Like what looks good together.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel like they've got kind of an eye for that sort of stuff.
Awesome.
I imagine he's got like the pictures where it's one photo, but it looks like 4 different ones just because of how the lines line up.
Oh,
If
that
you've
would be
ever
good.
seen them,
Mm-hmm.
or it's like a picture of a space animal that fits in that perfect like spiral thing.
Yeah, they look like they're just like cute Instagram images, but if you thought about it a little bit, you'd notice that there's like underlying extremely interesting geometry,
Mm-hmm.
but you wouldn't know. It's just like satisfying to look at.
Yeah, I love it.
Uh,
So cute.
what kind of plant does Neon have? If you know
Something
one.
cute and simple like a gerbera.
Nice.
They're just like big daisies.
Yeah, that's cute. Okay, Doma. Is there anything that you take specifically?
Yeah, so actually, I think she's not a huge fan of like the fluorescent light, so she's got like this like gauze or like what am I trying to think of? Like a sheer material
Mhm.
that she puts over the lights that like take off the harshness of it. And it puts like a nice sort of overcast, more bluer tone to the room, make everything a bit softer. Or more yellowy, I think.
Mhm.
And then like her screen is something that's like outside that you'd see on like a farm, but with it being outdated, it could be like a slightly outdated like farmland. But that's what she's got, which is sort of in direct contrast to her. And she also has like a little. It's not like a plant. It's like, I guess it's like a mini greenhouse that's like you can
Like
make
a little
mini
terrarium.
Yeah, and it grows like little like carrots and stuff like that in.
Micro carrots.
Micro carrots, like there's micro fruit. She's getting used to it.
I love that. Well, I just had like the perfect idea of like micro farming. It's just like
Yeah.
a new hobby of like these tiny carrots, and it's like so Instagram and chic.
Yeah,
I love it.
and she's got like trinkets, and then like the rest of it is like a couple trinkets. Like so, she's made like space on a desk where it's got like the mini greenhouse and a couple of like little gardening things. And then the rest of it's like her massive like army pack and like her fatigues, and then like all this stuff for maintenance for her legs and stuff. So
I love that.
yeah, it's a huge contrast to the soft greenhouse things. But yeah, that'd be her room.
Nice. Praline.
Well, I think for her weird window thing, she'd have like nice pictures from like New Orleans chic. So like very French Quarter, lots of like tall buildings.
Okay.
Lots of flowers, rain, something very pretty, something that reminds her of the South. And then lots of like pink fluffy rugs and maybe a pink throw. And I've put lots of little nice fairy lights. They're all mismatched because some of the bulbs blue. And I'm sticking those stars on, the ones that when you turn the lights on, they glow.
The idea of like it being like oh beautiful New Orleans French Quarter bit, and also sticky stars, and also
I think my window should look nice, but the room's tacky.
Does she have those like glow in the dark
Good.
dinosaurs as well?
Yes.
Of course. Don't like sleeping in the dark, so I have the little night lights and glow in the dark stuff.
I love that. It's
Pink
Like me decorating a room, honestly.
Pink 50s trashy chic with 5-year-old scared of the dark.
Amazing.
Feel attacked.
When me and Leo actually first met, they did have that on their walls.
I am a 5-year-old scared of the dark. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. I like it. It's very praline, I feel. I feel like the scene as well before you got on was just like tons of suitcases. And I feel like that's just like full of rugs and fairy lights. Nothing like practical at all.
It's very tacky and bougie. I've got my makeup set here. It's a bit full because the dresser isn't as big as I hoped it would be, but I've learned to make do.
You can go get another dresser from another room too.
Can go to space lab here.
One of the empty bedrooms is just full of suitcases.
Praline's dressing room.
Yeah.
Isn't it right?
That's so good.
That's really good.
Okay. Flint and Aphra.
What do you think, Holly?
Well, after I did bring a couple of plants with him, because
Okay.
you know he's from a foresty planet. He misses having plants around, so he'll have those set out. But I feel like they don't have much of anything with them because they don't have much of anything in general,
Yeah.
apart from stuff they actually need.
I mean, usually Flint would bring Daisy stuff, and Daisy's not there, so no stuff for him. But I was thinking maybe like a garden picture in the window.
Yeah.
Nice little garden with like vegetables and a little hut. Well, what they called? No.
Cabin?
Shed. That's it. A shed.
Okay.
Dreaming big.
Little summer house.
Yeah. But now that they're alone, Flint will take Athra's hand and go up on his tippy toes and give him a kiss. And give him a hug. And be like, he'll kind of look out the window and be like, we're actually almost there now.
Yeah. Not long now.
And he'll give Athra for another kiss.
And then another one. And then another one.
Oh, the kisses for his sweet, sweet Athra.
Okay. So, as everyone starts settling in, we get this scene just because it's Johnny and I think it's good. He's a wholesome boy. But we just have this like, front on view of him going through the different things, Does he ever settle on one or is he just going through them?
Yeah, I mean, this is like a 2-week trip, right?
Yeah.
So I think probably on the first day, no.
Okay.
But, I think eventually, like another day later on, someone comes by, probably looking for someone else,
Mhm.
and they see Johnny's just watching, like, it's just clouds, like, moving across the sky in the window, and their face is also, like, one bit clouds moving, like, jerkily across their face.
I like it.
And that's what they're doing. They're just, like, sitting on the bed,
Okay.
looking at the screen.
So on the first day, as you're there, you're still scrolling through, waiting to, get the one exactly that you want. As it turns off, the lights all turn off. Everyone in your rooms, everything shuts off, and you just, the engines are still running, but and you still feel yourself in hyperspace, but all the lights go off.
Oh, thank goodness I put those stars up.
Yeah, your fairy lights go off, but luckily your glowing stars are on.
Oh, I'm getting the vapors.
I feel like if we look out into the corridor, there's just like stars leading to all the main parts, like the fridge and then the stairs.
The fridge.
Yeah. It's important.
Don't
Okay.
let
I
me
feel
get
like
lost.
I feel like if you go out and you see Neon's room down the corridor, you would just see a floating question mark where their visor is.
Oh, Praline will scream. I imagine that we all go out into the hallway. Sandy, I can't click on my token.
Did Praline scream?
Let me in. Absolutely.
Then Doma's like out in the hallway with like one of her guns out of her legs with like a light on the end, and she's like she's already ran to Praline's room, just like, are you okay?
There was a scare question mark in the air. I'm getting
it's just Neon, I think.
It's
Squints
Johnny.
at it, points at it.
Is
everyone okay?
I'm sorry, Neon.
Yeah, I think I'm
Spooked.
good.
I think Johnny wants to immediately go and walk to somewhere they can plug into the ship.
Okay. So Johnny, you
I don't
gonna
think they say anything. They're just moving past people in the dark in the corridor.
you go downstairs to the comm section where you went to before.
Yeah. I don't think Johnny needs to be able to see. Is it like pitch black apart from the stars?
Yes.
I don't think they need to be able to see.
Okay. So yeah,
Like it's just a clunk because they go past Neon, who is just oblivious. He's just standing in the middle of the corridor.
Yeah, if the corridor's not very big, then you probably feel Johnny go past you.
oh god, that's fucking terrifying.
I think they also have like little I guess they're really. I keep thinking of them looking like 90s, like you know, like 90s computers that are really like cream colored.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
that's definitely how I like picture them. But I think that they probably have on some of the exposed parts of the shell like tiny little lights. So I don't think they're like completely invisible in the dark.
Okay.
Unless they turn them off for stealth, but they haven't.
Okay. So yeah, everyone as Praline screams, it's a big question mark on Neon's face, and you just see Johnny leave and brush past everyone.
Flint will go down to the cockpit, make sure everything's running okay down there.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost, Neon.
Am I spooky? Sorry.
It was just a question mark. It gave me a bit of a fright. I know you're not a ghost.
Sorry, it was just kind of did it automatically.
My spooky.
As
There are two types of robots on this ship.
as you plug in, what does it look like when you plug in again?
I
Johnny?
mean, in real life, I think it is incredibly low tech, and they are literally like taking a panel off the wall and pulling out a cable from their like the middle of their body to
Mhm.
plug it in. I think that like virtually we sort of discussed it's not a visual experience, but if it was, it would be like a sort of like infinite stretching in 3
Mhm.
dimensions, maybe more, like almost like files, like
Mhm.
stacks, like extending in all directions, but it's not, you know, not paper files or anything.
Okay, make an investigation check to see what you can find.
Cool. It's not like the ship. It's not like talking to the ship, right?
No, it's just you're
Ship's not on
looking.
that level.
Yeah.
Investigation, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was a 2 on the dice.
Oh my god.
It's bad.
Hmm.
So a 10, pretty good.
Actually, could I ask a question? Is that if you know all the files and stuff
Yes.
before you answer, like, does it look different from usual? Does it look different from before? Like something's gone wrong in the ship, or I mean, it
I
doesn't
think
have to
it
indicate
like
that, right? But
yeah, I think it's like darker. Like there's like almost like it's in a power save mode.
like there normally might be like blips of light moving around or something, and it's
Yeah.
just like dark,
Yeah.
like corridors stretching in every direction.
So what you can determine, you don't know the source of what happened, but everything has gone into like power save mode, and the main power has been cut off. And you can't you don't know exactly where the the power source would be. Potentially, engine rooms might have some sort of power source in it.
Not to get too Star Trek, but
Y-
can I? It is. But I was gonna basically what I'm trying to say is, can I ask how many like life signs are on the ship, or is that a bit of the power that's like closed down?
Yeah, for your like comm
That terrible
station.
roll, that's a no, huh?
Yeah, your comm station, which would like give you this information, is like off.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like plugging into something that's just not.
Yeah, you're like going
okay.
back into the main computer.
Can Doma have started making her way to like the engine room
Sure.
to see if she can figure out or where the source would be? And again, I think her brain would just be like, engine room, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
Versus a my ship.
Okay, so yeah, you go down the stairs and into one of the engine rooms. So in here, it's this large, most of this is just one of the engines, like in one of them, each both the same. It does have like wires and, there's a small cupboard for like a couple of tools and various bits and pieces. And you can just like almost feel the heat coming off of the engine here. You can make an investigation check to try and find the.
Yeah.
the
I
energy.
just have another brief question of like the ship and how it works. Do we have like comm bits? Oh god. Do we have like comm bits on the walls where it's like if you push a button you can speak to other rooms, or do we have like comm links ourselves?
I feel like you'd probably have some sort of earpiece that you could probably communicate with that. There would also be ones on the ship, but as you like tap it on the wall, it's off. It doesn't communicate.
Ah, okay, cool. I got a 9.
Yeah.
Is that also a 2 on the dice? Oh, mate.
Yep.
So far, so good.
The
No,
rolls are making it creepier.
It really is.
you don't. Let me just double check.
She would have mentioned that's where she's going as well if Praline or Neon would like to join her as an FY. She didn't just like fuck off. She was just like, I'm gonna go check out the engine room.
I would like to hold someone's hand. It's still spooky.
You can hold my hand if I'm not too spooky.
She's literally right on his arm, like clung to it, like let the ghosts get me.
Doma's happy it's kind of
much.
Okay.
Doma's happy it's dark, so you can't see her look of disappointment.
Do they two stay upstairs or do they go down as well?
I think if Praline is heading that way, then Neon will tag along too because they want to see what's going on.
Okay.
But there's more people. Would be nice.
Safety in numbers.
Is there anything going on the cockpit, or does everything seem to be flying okay?
The cockpit's flying okay. From what you can tell, like just like the main power's down, but the engine's still running and the main stuff looks to be fine.
Okay.
So
It's also really funny to me that like Neon, a robot, uses the term safety in numbers because like numbers are binary in computers.
Oh,
It's just funny to me.
If nothing's looking weird in the cockpit, Flint would probably like, come on, let's go check the engine room. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So as Praline's in there, you're looking for one of the panels, and you can't find it. You find a couple of wires, and you just see one wire that's been, and it's about like a fist-sized wire, like thickness, and it's been bit through.
Oh.
Cool.
I kind of wanted Johnny to like appear behind someone.
Harry, you're just doing this on.
It's dark. No. I don't know if are Praline and Neon in the engine room yet. Is everyone?
I feel like Neon has notably late suddenly come out with, I think that we should all have an assembly point and then we can check that everyone is here and everyone is safe.
Okay, now Johnny is immediately next to you.
Oh, good. Well done.
Johnny's
that's
the
one.
symbol. I think they just appear and they say like very quietly like the ship is running on auxiliary power, but I can't run diagnostics to find out why. I don't know if there's anyone else on the ship with us, so I think it may be worth being quiet.
When Johnny says that, Flint's gonna type something into his little arm thing and activate his lantern of revealing. Can I just say,
Ooh.
Praline has nearly fainted.
Okay.
Just swooning in Neon's
I'm
arms.
swooning into Neon's arms. I feel like she just keeps gasping.
Oh.
She's like, "Ah, ah, ah."
But she doesn't gasp. She actually says, "Gasp!"
Gasp!
Okay. So with that information, Doma, is there something that you do? As you just see this like wire bitten in half?
That's spooky. But she's brave, so I can be brave. So I guess I would I guess you'd look for any other signs of a creature or it's an entry point for the creature for the bite marks. And she would call out to the people in the room behind her or on her own like earcom. She'd be like, so I don't want to alarm anybody, but one of the cables has been bitten through. So if anyone's good with identifying weird space creatures, I would appreciate some help.
Are the earcoms working or are they down as well?
Your earcoms are running on batteries, so
Okay.
they're fine.
Flint will go on through. See what
Bitten
thing.
through. What does that mean?
The best I can see is that something has chewed its way through one of our cables. It seems weird that it's the only one. Is it the only one? Can you look see if it's the only one that's been bitten through?
You go in and this wire is the biggest one. You see a couple of other
Right.
little wires, but this one's like at the main wire. And as you kind of look through it, it's like several wires in an iron flexible tube that goes all the way around.
Can I? You know how iPhones
Maybe-
have like a torch?
Mhm.
Can I turn on a flashlight?
Would it
I
be your
really just, like-
face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got my lantern of revealing up, so would that show light? Would it already be lit in the room?
Oh yeah, you
Yeah, like,
you
that
said you were
literal
gonna.
light as well as magic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Sorry, I just really like the idea of someone having like shaky torch beams
Mhm.
in like a horror
Like
sci-fi.
a Blair Witch.
And
Yeah.
Doma had one. Doma had like a shaky like gun torch thing going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got your lantern of revealing up. There's no secrets around, so you're good.
Okay, well, I'll just use that as a lantern just now. Can
That-
I look at the bite marks?
Sure.
Can I be
Okay.
assisting because I'm shining my face torch?
Sure.
don't like this. What would it be?
Oh!
Nature check to discern what
Nature
it is.
check.
Sorry, it's a cantrip light. I'm casting the cantrip light, but my face is just lit up like an iPhone torch. Adding that magic flavor.
Okay, so it's a nature check with advantage?
Yes.
Oh, a 6.
Oh dear.
God.
I'm just like, wow.
Did we accidentally bring Daisy with us?
Oh.
I'm still worried it's not like a small creature. It's some sort of just like huge.
I mean, so the bite mark is like about 30 centimeters.
Right, it's like a metal cable. It's a
Yeah.
huge. Yeah.
So it's a big bite. As you try to discern what it is, the teeth marks look very weird and like almost like not only was it just like it was just kind of like cleanly bitten through like on purpose.
This is something with powerful jaws doing this.
Can Arthur investigate the other engine room?
Sure.
Oh, that's good to know that
Its
it's on
own?
our enclosed ship with us.
Cool.
So,
Yeah,
so no one brought on
investigation.
a pet then
Investigation is totally what you want the barbarian to be doing. 4.
Thor knows everything.
We're doing so well, guys.
We're doing great.
Enormous monsters in the dark, and they're like 2 feet away from us, but like none of us can see them. No one's picking up on it.
So, Athra, as you look around this room, you don't see anything too specific, but you see a panel on the far side of the room, just sort of like hanging there. And it's about probably like 5 by 5 foot panel that's just like off on its hinge.
Alright. Guess I'll go over and have a look at it.
As you peer inside, there seems to be like a separation wall, like for either mechanics walking through the interior of the ship, and like the protective hull on the outside and the insulation for keeping you warm and everything in here. So there's like a small walkways on the interior of the ship.
Cool. We're an alien. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess I'll head back out the engine room and say to folk like, I think I found wherever it is went.
Go over to Athra.
Did it go away?
Yeah, I think we follow. Is everyone
Yeah.
sticking together?
Neon is gonna follow if Praline is still standing and okay.
Big groups, everyone.
Okay. So it's a pretty tight squeeze going through the section as you all pull yourself into the side panel, and you start shimmying.
Sorry, are we like in the walls?
Yeah, so you're like in the walls, like shimmying
Oh,
inside.
we're going right
Hold on.
in.
Oh, I
Who's
thought.
going into the
I thought
wall?
you meant going into the engine room.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Like show people
Yeah,
where
I
the
think-
like gap is.
I think we all follow into the engine room. I think who's gonna go into the walls first is its own
Okay.
question.
I don't mind going into the walls first. Well, no, I mind going into the walls first, but Noma doesn't mind going into the walls first. So
I mean, I don't really care. Flint being Flint, I'll say he goes into wall first. He'll just fucking go in.
Can I is it the same day as before?
Yeah,
Was it a new
same
day?
day.
Oh, okay. So how many hours was it since we left?
Probably like 1 or 2 hours.
That's fine. Okay, I'm just checking my major armor is up still.
Okay. Flint, just checking. Okay. So as you're going through the wall, are you being stealthy or are you just kind of going for it?
Be a little bit stealthy.
Make a stealth check.
Yes, I roll stealth. 12.
But all in like a dark, silent ship.
So yeah, you just see Flint lift
My
up
best stat.
Flint lift up the panel and go into the wall, and it shimmy shut as you hear like the scraping of the metal, like as we get like the perspective of like a very tight shot of Flint's face, like ducking under some pipes, shimmying through, and you see in the distance like something spark, like and I think everyone just hears coming from like up here in the northern walls, and then you just like starts being quiet again.
did it seem like it was going away from us or towards us?
Away from you.
Okay.
So Flint, as you like get up to like this point, ducking under, you almost like turn around the corner and you just see this like black blur just start running away, and you just see like the spark and it lights up for a second, but it's hard to see, almost blinding your eyes as well. As you move over, another wire, same kind of thing, bitten through.
Am I the smallest in the group?
Yes.
Okay. um, would everyone else be able to fit in here with all the wires and stuff?
You'd have to be single file, but yeah.
Okay.
Doma would have been following.
Flynn, we'll do that, like, you know, that whistle that's like, come on, I can't do it. It's like,
Yeah.
Woo woo.
yeah. I can't whistle. I can a bit, but you know that specific one that's just like, come.
Sure.
Men in the woods do it.
Okay.
Lumberjack.
They're not be last. I don't want to be at the end or the start.
Why
I
don't
can
you go at
back.
the end if you want?
Okay.
Well, let's put Neon next to Prowling.
Okay.
I don't think I'm very comforting.
So am I going in between
Like here?
Praline and Johnny? Or am I going at the end?
Don't mind.
I'll go at the end, but probably like a way back.
Okay.
I think that maybe like we're making ourselves like rats in a trap. Do you know what I mean?
Do you want us to follow it? Some of us follow it in the ship outside, like outside the weird walls.
Sorry?
Like, do we want to have Team A in the walls and Team B following it around the ship on the outside? Not
No.
like it. You know what I mean? Not inside the walls.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
do we know if like the doors would be too thin for something to run around? It's like heading this direction.
Yeah, so there would be the upper parts of the door that probably have, mechanics and stuff. You could probably crawl through them at the top.
Okay.
It's a pretty tall ship as well. Each of the cargo hold itself is about 15-20 feet high, so it goes a bit higher, and then the rooms are above that.
I guess maybe Johnny does like voice that as everyone is like getting into the walls, and it's just like, do you think it's wise for us all to be in one place?
What does that mean?
I mean, we're trying to trap this thing, but surely if we're all stuck in here, there's just as much chance it'll trap us.
Kind of
Well-
try not to cry right now.
It's like Neon tries to
I'm
back up a little
sure
bit.
It's fine. I will come into the walls if you would like.
Well, you make a good point, I think. How thick are the walls, like in the ship?
Like when you're inside of it,
Mhm.
it's like a good maybe 3 foot wide.
Oh shit. Okay, I was like, oh, maybe Athra can like whale his way in, but no. Okay.
Tight squeeze.
mm.
Well, how about I lead the team on the outside and follow the sounds of you guys in the walls?
All right. That's ego. All right.
Okay, so
Yeah. There we go.
we have Dome on the outside. Oh my god.
Yeah.
The space ice cream man.
Leon, stop playing that track.
I think Johnny's going to be on the outside as well.
Okay.
I don't think I'll be any good if I'm caught close up to something.
Neon, Praline, where are you best?
I don't want to be in the wall.
I think I'm pretty good at sneaking around. Maybe I could follow Flint and Astra, and if you three want to stay outside.
Okay.
All right. Well, do you think any of you could get through the wall back out if you had to very quickly?
We could run very fast. Hmm.
Well,
What do you
it
mean,
seems.
like blast through the wall?
I suppose it just seems very dangerous either way, so it doesn't really matter.
There'd be like air vents and that grates and things throughout the way, Sando.
Mhm.
If we need an exit, we'll find one.
Mm.
But we should be alright.
Okay, I think Johnny gives you the location of where all the air vents are on the ship.
Okay.
Right, like they plugged into the ship. They know the schematics of the ship. I think that it's maybe they don't say it in a very helpful way, but they're like, you know.
Sure. So, with Group A being in the vents and Group B being outside, we'll take Group A, put them in the cargo hold for a bit just now, and with Group A, are you just going to try follow this thing all the way around?
Yes. How's Athra doing in the walls? He's a big boy.
He's squished.
Yeah, bit squished. I feel like he would have followed Flint into the wall pretty quickly. Without really thinking too hard about it.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to navigate through the section.
Yeah. Flint will like update everyone on things coming over.
So as you're coming round the ship here, yeah, you hear as you start coming closer, you hear it then go again, like it sounds like almost first like back and forth, and then like deciding where to go, and then it goes in a different direction away from you. With Team B, make perception checks.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, that's not bad for a -1.
Nice.
Okay, so yeah, we get this as you see the wall billow out as like someone just hit into the side wall here, and then it runs very, very quickly up of this door, and where you can see a vent above the door, you just see this like, we get that shot of a torchlight like looking for something, as we just see this blur shoot across this vent as the other team slowly make their way across. When you get to like this section here, you see like where it hit into the side of the wall, like denting it out, and the panel's like a bit loose now.
I guess like, Doma would have followed, tried to listen for which direction it went in, and like tried to follow it.
Okay.
I've like, seen it like through the blur, and she'd like update Flint and Arthur and Neon, and just be like, "You probably saw it, but it went through door X of the cargo hold."
I'm crying down the chat. I don't like this.
It's okay. You're doing great.
No, I'm not. Stop
Yes.
that.
It's okay. Just patting her hand. It's all right.
Okay.
Perhaps we can try and get ahead of it.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Where did it sound like it was going?
Yeah, can each of us like go to one of the vents that could have been where it was going, or something like that?
Mhm.
Yeah. Also, this seems to be some sort of animal or a creature. I have dog treats on me.
That's a different direction what I was going, because I have the poisonous kit. So.
Ow.
Join them both together.
Yeah, unstoppable team.
What happens if, as we're walking over here,
Mhm.
can we get on top of this door?
Yeah. So that point you're like prone crawling.
That's okay. Once we're on top of the door, I want to reach into my pockets and just try aim a doggo snack right there.
Okay. Makes a dexterity check.
Okay. Yeet. 13.
13? Yeah, you like put it in your hand and you flick it down. And you just hear this like ding diddly ding ding of the treat going down. With your like arm pointed out for a torch and your one hand on your blaster, you just see this mound of a head come round the corner, like almost like snarling. As you see this, as you like flick up the lights, as it like catches it, it kind of winces. As you just see it bite into the tree, look up at you. As you kind of like are about to like pull at your blaster, you just see the bright, dumb eyes of Daisy.
Oh my god.
Oh!
Flynn just goes, Daisy, god dang it!
As you just see her like bounce back and forth like a dog being chased, and then starts like running, and it like almost like pushes you out of the vent to your side here, Flint, as you just like come tumbling out of it.
She's just like on top of me.
Yeah.
He's just like, ugh.
I was joking when I said that. Never mind, I guess.
Johnny comes up close to Doma and is like, "It's a pet." Right.
Yes.
Oh, I'm glad we didn't kill it first.
Ooh,
Just
tell me
lost
about it. She
10
took
years
the
of
poison
Bella.
vials back into a pack. See, Arlene, there's nothing to worry about.
I just lost 10 years of my life.
I think like hearing the crying, like Daisy perks up and then just like starts like dancing around Praline.
No.
So like doing that,
It's like,
like play with me, you're making noise, play with me.
I'm just gonna go over to Daisy and like take her collar. And be like, how did you get here?
And you just like, you know, she kind of like points towards like this back area here where you see like another loose panel like through the main hangar door, and she just kind of like looks at that bit.
Do I have any like missed text from Poe just being like, hey, Poe?
Missed
Yeah,
call.
when the power comes back on, it's just like 87 missed calls.
Yeah, for real.
I imagine like Toma's just gonna go straight to try and fix the power. She's like,
I
right,
was
well,
gonna say, yeah, Johnny is
cool.
also gonna go and look at the cable. Let's go.
I
Glad
feel
it
like,
wasn't a death alien.
yeah, I feel like it's just like that simple thing of like, better get the duct tape out.
In fact, it's Johnny like squatting down and like staring at it and listing off all the components they don't have to repair it, and then maybe Doma gets the duct tape out
Yeah.
and just
She's
like
like,
solves it.
Yeah, like she's listening to them, and she's like,
Oh,
okay,
Well,
right.
I mean,
well,
well, if the connections are in the right place, then I suppose that could also possibly, maybe, work.
for now, it's gonna have to be this.
Was that your duct
Totally
tape?
works there.
It's actually solid tape, but you know, it's
It
all
works.
I'll give you a bit of flavor text.
I love it.
Professional radio.
I know. So yeah, as you just like wrap around, put it together, and you get that kind of like woo, woo, as like the power wants to go on, as you just like wrap more duct tape around it, and it like the power goes boof, and like lights up.
Johnny is still talking about how it's probably not going to work up until the point where it comes back on.
It's not a pretty fix, but it's something until
Well,
we can get the right things.
Temporarily, it seems to have done something. I admit.
You've seen my ship. Half of it is held together by duct tape, so
Well, now I can see how that happened.
never underestimate. Fixes everything. Almost fixed my legs, but just wasn't enough.
Can I make sure Daisy's mouth is okay from biting through wires?
It's fine.
Alright. He's just like, you.
As at that point where the power goes back on, you hear the comms go, "Biddle-loop, biddle-loop."
How'd you answer them?
How do you want to answer it?
Hello. Yell into the void.
So yeah, you go up to the comm station. You know how it works. You press like open call. You put on like this like little headset, and you hear, "Is this Flint?
Is this Poe?
Did you find Daisy?"
Yeah, she ate through a couple of wires, but she's here. Thanks for watching her.
I did my best. I closed the door, went back to pack some things up, and the door was gone. So you owe me a new door.
I'll get on that. I feel like this has happened a few times.
Not enough times for you to know it might have been Daisy, though.
Mm,
Maybe you just let Praline be terrified.
maybe a bit both.
Was Flint the whole time like, oh, it's Daisy. I'm going in first.
He's just like, right, bye. Thanks, Adam.
Yeah.
Well, Daisy, you stop doing that.
She's got that dumb like, Labrador expression, just like.
It just makes that that face and just like pinches her cheeks and just like, oh, you're a good dog.
Can't stay mad at her.
No.
Well, it will take a bit more for me to fix this properly, but we have power. And I guess a mascot for our trip.
I thought that was
This
Praline.
mascot in town.
Johnny is quietly like, it's not a dog, and I don't see how it would. But
Shut up, Johnny, I know.
was that in character? Is that Flint's voice when he's
That's
mad?
Leo.
Pulls out a gun.
He's too busy fawning over her, just being like,
Yeah, Johnny said it quietly. I don't think they're very tactful though, so I don't know if it was audible.
Flynn's just ignoring you, to be honest. He doesn't really. Whatever. His doggo's here, he's happy.
Johnny's just very defensive about the ship. They would if they were a ship still and they just got eaten, they'd feel pretty bad. So
Awesome.
Gonna be even tighter squeezing that bed now.
God.
it's just a vertical pile.
Yeah.
So
Abra has to watch for horns in his eyes and drool in his mouth.
Yeah.
a nightmare. So
Sharp doggo elbows in his side.
with the mysterious creature on the ship found out, and the power back on, I think we'll take our first little break there, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. So we'll get some drinks, take some pills, rest up, make some tea, and we'll be back
Imagine.
here very soon.
Prescribed medicine pills were not just like popping, by the way.
It's been one of those
Really
days.
might after this.
Okay, see you in a minute, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Hi.
Aileen has stopped crying now.
Oh,
Welcome back. Welcome back.
that's very good. Very good.
Cats are now fed.
Daisy!
Daisy's
I'm
here.
still like scared from that section.
Yeah, but maybe it wasn't Daisy on board.
Oh my god.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
You trying to get Crowley
Daisy's
to cry
here
again?
too.
It's working.
Yes.
Maybe Daisy was chasing what was ever on
Oh
board.
my god.
Oh my god. She was like, oi. Stop it.
Yeah, you just go down to like the bottom here, and it's just like a dead guy. Starts to stink in a couple days.
Oh, we forgot about the last member of our team. Whoops.
Johnny won.
Johnny 1 is long gone.
Not threatening.
Okay, so with the mystery on board solved, and your week of hyperdrive still to go, is there any scenes anyone wants to play out before we take the first hyperdrive break, I guess?
When there's hyperdrive, do you not need to drive?
No, it's just going.
Keep half an eye on it.
Yeah. You only really need to fly when you're like fighting most of the time, or landing.
Okay.
That's why being a ship was so boring for Johnny.
So yeah.
I think like
Mhm.
Doma would just want to get to know people a bit more because we're working together. So like, what's your strengths? What your weaknesses? What are we
No
gonna
small
do?
talk for Doma.
Is that what it's like? Is it like an interview where you're examining people's fighting strengths? You said that you're kind of like, oh, let's have a drink sometime, but actually the beginning of the conversation is like, what would you say your biggest strengths were?
Yeah, she thinks she's being like really open and friendly, but it's just like it does come across as like an interview
Okay.
accidentally.
That's really good.
Yeah, she's just like I don't do small talk very often. So like
Are there particular people on
What?
board she's like keen to interview? Like first?
yeah, but she'll interview someone else, so it doesn't seem like she was keen to interview the other person.
Wait, which one were you keen to interview? I'm interested.
Praline.
Okay.
Whoever gets interviewed first is like Welshan then. She's like, I didn't really want to talk to you, but I'm making it look like I did.
She does, but like she just just want to seem like
She's trying to be
Pushing.
casual.
Yeah, trying to
Yes.
be chill. Is the interview with Praline like suspiciously like much longer, different like mood lighting in your
It's in the bedroom.
that's where the good liquor is. So like, where else is it gonna be? That's her excuse.
Okay. So if Praline or Doma wants to like, get to know people on like an individual basis, do you hang it out in like the living room area or the kitchen? You have like these like weird sofas in here as well as like a normal kitchen area with a dining table.
Oh, are the sofas like the ones that are in the floor, like in these really old 70s houses where they've got like a couch pit or a sofa pit?
Oh my god, I love those.
Yes.
That, but with
Well-
lights.
We'll say yes.
I thought that was like the height of class when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I
it's
still
all
think
about
it is.
brother.
They're
Yeah,
also
you
just,
see
like-
you see shows with like people have that when you're younger and you're like, wow, that's so cool.
There's also just like restaurants like that in Japan, right? Like there's regular traditional ones where you're actually sitting on the floor, but there's also like a lot of fusion restaurants in Japan. Like this, if they're
Mhm.
serving Italian food or something, will be like floor seating, but there's an extra bit for your feet under the table as well.
That's cute.
I love that.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah. Where's Doma doing these interviews?
These conversations. I guess they'd be happening when she like bumps into people. So people are like hanging out in the like kitchen living room.
Okay.
She would do.
Is it actually that chill though, or is it like someone's making a tea and she's like, "Hey, tea, me too."
Yeah.
Um,
She's not so good with people, but she tries.
Okay,
It's
so
like I have researched segues, and I will shoehorn them in.
who's the first person that you talked to, Doma?
Maybe Athra. She's had a bit of a conversation with Flint and Neon and Johnny, but not Athra.
Okay,
He's
So-
just like sitting on one of the couches knitting a blanket for Daisy since we don't have any of her stuff.
Oh no! Hey, I've got some stuff. I brought pillows and things. I can decorate. Hang on, I'll go get the rugs.
Is one of the rooms Daisy's room now?
They're all
Yes.
Daisy's room. The
Yeah.
doors slide.
Daisy has an entire room to herself, but she doesn't stay in it.
Just chewed it all.
Okay, so we'll say like as people are like doing different things that there's a quiet time for Athra to sit and do some knitting, and Doma approaches Athra.
So, that looks soft.
Yeah, hopefully. Click, 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 click.
So, have you been with Flint long?
About 4 years? Why?
Nice. Ah, it's just a, curious. It's what you ask people when you're getting to know them. Just what I'm daring to do.
You're worse at this than I am.
It's hard. It's like you gotta ask the questions, and you gotta remember all the things, and I probably only just about remembered everyone's name, so. And I think she'll like tentatively take a seat, but it's like one of those where she's perched right on the edge of the seat, and
Mhm.
it's like a hello. It's like a cultural distance away, so she's not like super friendly. I don't know. It's probably like a whole seat cushion away. Come on, then. Sorry.
Baby.
Daisy had kittens, they're all in the walls.
She was nesting. My dog did that once. She thought she was pregnant. She made a nest under the bed, but she was too fat to get out.
Oh,
That's mean.
It was so sad. My stepdad had to like pull up the bed and pull her out, and she wasn't happy about it. She was like, "I need to make a house for my babies." Bless her.
Okay.
so I guess like I was just wondering what you bring to the table with your, well, like your skills. Because we're all in this together.
I can fly the ship, and I'm just a merc, I guess. Pretty good at hitting things harder than X.
I'm pretty good at hitting things from far away. But like with a gun, obviously, in the legs. And she pats a leg.
Yeah, it's
So-
pretty handy.
Right? It's like super neat. Make a positive. No, wait, make a negative into a positive. And all that. Why not have gun legs? It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I'm a lot better at like skills than talking, so please don't take this as any reference on my ability to perform.
Oh.
She's doing her best.
It's really good.
Amazing.
Nah, I saw you shoot.
I mean, that's one way to bond, right? Fighting
And it shrugs.
immediately.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll have to get together and figure out how we're going to take over a speeding train?
I think we're definitely going to have some sort of plan in place. I don't think this is going to be easy. Wouldn't pay so well if it was.
True. Have you done many, I guess, assassination things before?
A couple. Usually more of a grunt, you know? I'm not particularly stealthy.
And yet you were more than happy to go into the walls.
Well, yeah, I didn't know what was in there. I wasn't leaving Flint in there on his own.
True. Well, I've done it a few times. I don't know if we've ever run in like the same merc circles before.
Merkles.
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 she said it's just Merkles.
Merkles.
Merc
I'm
circles.
fine.
Mercicles.
Pretty sure I would remember, Jay. You're quite distinctive.
Ah, thank you. I try. Well, no, being an assassin, not really, but you know what I mean. With that, just taps on a glass of it. Just like, oh, God. Your blanket looks lovely. It's been nice talking to you.
Yeah, you do.
Cool. Just gonna leave.
Just like come back to the next person with like a list of questions.
Yeah, just like, right, okay. Let's get this.
Where are you from?
Imagine she writes that down and she's like, oh, fuck. I could have answered it. It's just so bad.
Athra's like the worst person to have that awkward conversation with because he's not bothered by uncomfortable silence, so he'll just sit until you ask him.
Oh no!
Just like click, click, clack, 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 clack.
Conversation with.
This is great. This is going well.
Okay. So, as like the days go on, is there anyone else you want to do it to, or is there anyone else that want to do other scenes or anything?
Just like to put more stars. I got some extras. I'm gonna just pop them round so I don't get lost in case sweet little Daisy decides to eat the wiring again. Mind me.
Flint has been making meals. He likes to cook, so he's been like cooking meals, and it's heavy on the bread. He likes baking bread, but it's just plain bread. There's nothing to it.
Okay.
But they're perfect loaves.
Is there just like on the table like several loaves?
There's like, if you open a drawer, there's like 5 drawers used as like proving drawers. Just like it's yeast getting all good and plump, and then he'll yeah, he's probably just in the kitchen a lot. If Athra's also just sitting there knitting.
Okay.
But he'll make a lot of like nice stir fries and just like things that are just kind of using everything in the fridge. I don't know how to cook, but he does.
I think just like a fridge on a spaceship is really funny to me, or like an oven. It's like
Too normal.
yeah. Okay.
Also, yeah, his food isn't like that flavorful. It's just kind of like, it's food, but it's good. It's good. It's good, but not much flavor.
I imagine Doma has like some hot sauce or something that she just has on her all the fucking time, and she adds to everything.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, this is delicious, but like, I just need a kick.
Okay. Is there a
I
person?
think that,
Yeah, sorry.
sorry, I was gonna say I think Neon doesn't really have any concept of how often the organic members of the crew, as Johnny would put it, will want to like eat or drink or whatever. It might be something they once knew, but it's gone. So they're just like constantly in the kitchen making drinks, and probably
Aw.
bump into Flint a lot. Like, tea? No? Okay.
I feel like if Neon's like hovering around the kitchen, Flint would kind of just say an order, but not necessarily to them, just like cut those, grate that.
Oh, okay, sure.
So you know he's talking to you. You're the only one there.
I feel like they're probably like working in companionable silence.
Yeah,
they
Flint's
don't-
not really shy.
Yeah, I feel like they don't need to say a lot, but Neon's happy to have something to do to feel useful.
Yes, but he'd be like, if like Neon cut something, he'd say thank you and say you did a good job and stuff.
No.
Is Neon used to having like free time? They have days off and stuff at the bar.
I would imagine so.
I guess I'm just imagining sort of like horrible capitalist dystopia as maybe like, well, you know, if you don't need to sleep as much, then you could have 80-hour weeks.
Yeah, I imagine they probably would, like, if because they don't need to sleep. They probably do end up working a lot of hours.
Hmm.
So I think that finding themselves on this ship suddenly with a lot of time to fill, they might find themselves feeling a bit sort of like at a loose end, kind of drifting around a little bit. Like Neon likes to feel useful.
Yeah, that's why they just go around to every single person being like, tea?
Yeah. T, can I help you with that? What does this button do?
I just imagine like he turns off the electricity and all of Flint's like dough just goes boom. And he's like, no.
I like my favorite one is like the wire gets a bit loose and someone tries to walk through a door but just like hits into it. I also like the look of, you know, someone like Neon being like very, very precise and very, very quick at like cutting up things. So it's just like,
That's what I'm picturing.
yeah,
Like perfectly even slices.
yeah.
of
When
the cuttings.
when like Flint would say like a 1 centimeter cut of this pepper, he'd just be like, okay, done.
I also
Slide
like
it
the
down
idea
now.
that I imagine Daisy's with Flint watching him cook.
Daisy's her own agent.
Yeah, but she loves food, so she'd probably be keeping an eye on the food. And
Yeah.
also he'd be giving it to her as well.
Yeah.
She's waiting to see if she gets any crunch.
Yeah, get some carrots. But I just imagine like Daisy like sitting around and Flint has like a little washcloth like attached to his tail where he just wipes the spit now and again, but doesn't really look, but just wipes it up because no, don't mind, I'm slipping on that.
I think Johnny is actively afraid of being eaten by Daisy.
As you should be.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like
Sometimes Johnny was afraid of something instead of the other way around.
I think like, you know, Daisy just sits behind Flint the entire time, like pushed up against his butt, like wanting something. As you're like trying to move around, it's just like you're just being pushed by Daisy.
Oh, he's 100% used to it though.
Yeah,
It's like this happens all the time.
it's like he tries to open a drawer, but Daisy just closes it.
And no, sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, yeah, was there any scenes before we get Doma interviewing Praline? If there was something you wanted to do, Johnny.
I was only gonna say like no one is hanging out with Johnny, I don't think, unless they want to, but you see them like around the ship. Maybe like just like watching Flint cook, but from a distance, and then they just leave the room. Or Praline like comes out her room, and Johnny is just like holding one of the glow stars.
Oh,
Oh
hi
my
there.
God.
You helping too?
Oh, I was just trying to. I understand chemically how they glow, you know? I mean, I understand what they are in that sense, but it's more difficult to understand the emotional attachment that you seem to have to them.
She just tilts her head like, oh, I don't think I like them that much. It's just the dark's scary, and these don't need batteries or anything.
But you like how they look.
They look cute. I think they do.
And all the things in your room
Hmm?
sort of match. You know, the keychains on your gun and the fluffy thing.
Mhm.
You like them.
I do, yes.
How do
You?
you know if you what you like?
To make me feel happy, I guess.
Hmm.
I don't really know how else to explain it. A good feeling.
Johnny is still like looking at the star, and they place it they like spend a second judging, and then they place it somewhere very particular back on the wall, and then they just walk off.
Thank you.
Have you ever seen Haunting on Hill House?
Yes.
Because there's like some background scenes are just kind of ghosts standing there. That's what Johnny's like.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Terrifying.
I think Johnny also like watches Doma doing interviews, and you like their face is blank, but you think that they look amused.
Oh, that's amazing.
God.
Yeah, every scene, like if this was like a show, you would just see like the camera like panning as Daisy's like being
my
pushed
God.
with like Flint, but just like in the background there's Johnny
Yeah,
just like
it's
looking.
exactly like Hill House. If you pause it at the right moment, you can find Johnny right in the background, like looking through the window from space or something. Like,
Every single
Just like
Johnny's
in the reflection of the toaster.
yeah, or I think maybe like at some point someone like walks into like comms and Johnny is like plugged into the ship, and you know, if like asked what they're doing, they're just like, I was just watching the hyperspace in the ultraviolet. Very interesting.
Tomo's the only one who doesn't really question it anymore. She just lets it happen.
I think Johnny notices if other people think it's weird, and they sort of like, I wouldn't say it's like comes across as sheepish, because again, their face is blank, but they sort of hesitantly unplug from the ship and then go and like stand in a corner.
I mean, Leo has a lot of problems with it. I'm terrified. But Flint doesn't really notice. Doesn't really care.
Mm.
Aline just assumes that that's what Johnny likes to do. Makes him happy, right?
Well, yes. It's interesting. It's hard to say what makes me happy.
You're interested, so then there's some kind of motivation there to keep, doing it. Right?
Yes, I suppose there is. Yes, maybe
Maybe it is fun.
it's strange understanding something without really being able to articulate it. But perhaps I do understand it a little. I don't know if it's fun.
I'm not very bright. But I can imagine that we're on a similar wavelength. Maybe one day.
You think that me and you are on a similar wavelength?
Maybe one day. I mean, I'm sure we
I
can
was just-
understand each other.
I was just trying to make sure that I understood you now. That is indeed what you were saying.
this some kind of like subtext sort of thing?
No, I
I'm
think
not.
you're very interesting. Right.
Oh, thank you. I think you are too, Johnny.
Johnny like flashes up a smiley face, and because it's blank, it doesn't look sarcastic.
I'm just gonna give a big thumbs up.
Johnny like raises their hand and very slowly makes it into a thumbs up gesture.
Yay!
Yeah.
I hate this.
Okay.
Oh god.
So
And then they just stand there with their thumb up until Praline leaves the room.
Oh. Hi.
amazing. So Doma interviewing Praline. What does that look like?
Oh, awkward. As always. I imagine it's just the thing that she maybe catches her. Maybe she just walked away from Johnny. I don't know where she's going after that. Is she going to the bedroom? Is she going to the kitchen or lounge?
Just trying to get away.
Oh no.
I'm sure I'll just make my way back from Johnny. Gonna fetch some more pillows to put in the main room. You know, can't have enough pillows.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's so chattery. I imagine like whatever like Doma's coming through, maybe coming from her room. If Praline was going to go back to get more stuff, she'd like gone to lean on the door frame, but like her arm just slides down it because it's metal on metal. She's like, oh,
You okay?
Yep. Ships are slippy. You know how it is. Yep. How are you doing? Since you know, the mystery of the stowaway hyena? It's a hyena, right?
Think so. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. That probably wasn't a good first impression or second. I'm usually more braver than that. It's quite surprising. I didn't really know what was going on. I'm sorry everyone had to see me crying so much.
Oh well, you still look great even when you were crying.
Oh, thank
that-
you. You do. I mean, you look good too. You're so brave.
Thank you. It's my job. She's like, wait. You know, all in a day's work. Just part of the job description. So,
Okay.
where are you from?
Oh, around, I guess. I call where I'm from Space New Orleans, because I don't know many planet names.
It's New Orleans.
It's New Orleans.
Okay.
And use like an NU.
Yeah.
And you.
Yeah.
Kind of lots of buildings on top of one another. Lots of rain. It's real pretty. But I travel around a lot. So, you know, it's fun though. Where are you from?
Classified.
IUX93. I'm gonna write that down. You know, it's just a little planet off the Severin Galaxy. Oh, fucking
Okay. What's that like?
cold.
Oh.
Nothing doesn't sound as interesting as NU is. It's just a little cold. You can just grow up and then you get away from it. It's just somewhere to grow up. You know, you get to a certain age and you leave.
Was
Okay.
Doma grown in a vat? Sorry, I'm not there. I'm really sorry, I'm not in the scene. Johnny's
Sounds like always there.
Maybe I'm not making notes about this.
That was a great, intonation for I was grown in a vat, but I don't really like talking about it.
I just think that like Johnny's like plugged into the comms and heard it, and then just heard some groan.
You're trying to have a private conversation, and you can just hear like over the intercom being like, "Were you grown in a vat?" And then just big silence. I remember they were trying to be quiet.
Man, we got a commentary going on.
Everyone else is just like, "What was that?"
I imagine she just sort of shout those. It's just like Johnny, and then she just like smacks the side of the spaceship, assuming that they're like plugged in somewhere.
You just hear a little noise of like, "Yeah, fine, fine."
They like to do that. They like to be involved. It's endearing.
Yeah, they seem nice. We had a nice moment just then.
Oh,
Gave
What?
thumbs up to each other.
oh, well, that's a new. They've just learned that then. That's
Mhm.
wonderful.
Oh, good. I taught him something. He seemed a bit. I'm not sure if he was angry when I said I thought we were on the same wavelength.
No, I don't think I've ever seen Johnny angry.
Okay.
You don't want
They
to.
seem... no. I mean, I've only known him a couple months, years? Did we decide?
Sorry, I thought it'd only been like, I think months or weeks, like a couple of months or like
Yeah.
3 or 4 weeks or something. Not that long.
Yeah. I've only really known them a couple months. I was just out in space doing some salvage stuff and just found them.
Oh,
They've been nice. As far as Johnny goes, I'm still working him out.
I mean, you all seem nice.
Yeah. I haven't worked with a crew in a while, so it's nice that everyone's nice.
It is nice. I've never done this sort of thing before. I've always seen like the adventure movies, and I've seen on the news when there's been a big heist somewhere, and this is my first time doing a proper one.
Well, it's not my first time doing a heist, so I can show you the ropes. Get going.
Oh, that would be great.
Nice.
Nice.
Do you need help with anything? Were you like...
I thought that the living room could use more pillows. I was just gonna get some from my second room.
You picked a second room? What do you need a second room for?
Had a lot of luggage. I hope no one minds. There was a spare room going, so I just put the suitcases and whatnot in there.
No one's using it. I just pretty much live out of one pack.
That seems more convenient.
But your things look lovely. It will brighten up the place. I'm so used to like a 2-room spaceship that's pretty much held together by duct tape at this point. So it'll be nice. You just see a face do that thing, when you just like you've said the word too many times, and you're like,
Oh. Okay, well, I can come give me a hint. I'll go get some pillows, and I think I have some nice throws somewhere. I don't think Daisy has a bed, but I don't really know where Amos sleep. Do they sleep in the walls usually?
I couldn't tell you. I think Athra was knitting or something.
Oh, okay.
But I can give you a hand. We can take some more stuff in.
Okay, great. Nice.
Nice.
Just pile pillows on top of him while he's sitting there.
Make a pillow fort.
Buckaroo.
Yeah.
See how many you can put on him before he's like, what are you doing?
He's so engrossed in his sewing that he doesn't notice at first.
Matt, that looks
Knitting, sorry.
pretty.
Just braid his hair.
Can I?
Can if you want. It's very nice.
It does look very nice. My hair's short, so there's not much to braid.
Um,
Have you ever?
Slumber party?
Don't remember the last time I had one of those.
Did bring my nice pajamas.
Oh, well, sure.
what went through Doma's head there? What does Doma regard as nice pajamas?
Well,
Nothing.
she's seen Praline's modelling, so I'm assuming she's seen Praline in very nice pajamas.
The nice pajamas.
No, Doma's getting the vapors.
She's the thing where you turn away, she's got a hand over her face, and she's like a darker shade of blue, and she's like, cool. Cool.
Yep.
Nice.
Her gun opens up and shoots out.
Oh my god.
Just like a steam vent in like her leg. She's like, she clicks it closed. She's like, yep. I better go fix that.
I'm just picturing this part of the conversation being had while like you're standing on like either side of Athra while he's knitting.
Yeah.
It's just like
Braiding his hair casually. I love it.
Yeah.
It's like Flint and Neon are in the kitchen having a cute little cooking time. Doma, Praline, and Athra are on the sofa, like braiding each other's hair and knitting, and then there's just Johnny in the corner staring.
staring.
Listen, maybe they want to join in. They're just studying human behavior.
I think Doma would invite Johnny at some point. Like, if they weren't in the vicinity, like she couldn't see them, she'd do like the bang on the walls thing again, and just be like, "You can join us. It's fine."
Maybe Johnny eventually comes in and is like, "Well, I just overheard that with my ears that time because I wasn't plugged in. I can just hear it."
Okay, well, I never know. It's not like you've got a warning beep.
Would you like me to have a warning?
I don't think so. No.
Johnny just suddenly starts going like exactly the same frequency and it just doesn't stop.
Oh no. No.
Oh, my.
No, Johnny, no, please.
Just roll up a newspaper and just
Yeah.
on head.
It was that or throw a blanket over it.
Oh my god.
Dull the noise.
I can it's not. I could turn it off.
Please.
I just
I
was just interested
appreciate.
to see how you'd react.
Well, I appreciate the gesture, but we're good. Don't need a warning beep. It was there.
Johnny, every single time you see Johnny for the next 2 days, they make a beep sound as they like a long time before they reach you, and for like much too long after they pass you in the corridor.
Amazing.
The most passive aggressive robot.
I love it. I love Johnny.
Johnny is too good for this.
I could just sit and like just leave them in hyperspace forever, and just like it's just really
Right.
it's very funny to me.
Listen, DM, let me come on the adventure.
This is the adventure.
Okay.
Bonding.
Adventures
Adventure
the
for
friends you
Johnny.
make along the way.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So
To those that actually want action, but we are huge LPs.
I'm just like going through my mind thinking of different kinds of breads to make. Tonight I think I'm gonna go for rolls.
Nice.
Making a stir fry or something, so it doesn't really work. But
Does it
there
bring
we
you
are.
joy?
Yeah.
That's okay then.
It is the canvas of the food world, surely.
Hmm.
So it's like nicely fresh baked bread.
Oh no, he'll put it out before for starters.
Yeah, it's not like together. It's not like you open the roll and it's noodles inside.
No.
How did he do it?
Hide it.
I mean, you don't knock until you try it. You
No,
know?
no, all right,
I
sorry.
mean, it might be good.
I used to
I
do
mean,
that.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Shame.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, it's
But it's
bread.
not really wet.
Well, you drain it first, and then you just put then you put the noodles in like a slice of bread, and then like fold it and eat it.
I feel like that's worse than the crisp and raisin thing.
Nothing's
No.
worse than a crisp and raisin
Your
sandwich.
bread is wet.
Wet bread would be worse, but
Well, I suppose when you dip soup, bread in soup.
When you
bread
dip
is
soup.
that's different though.
Yeah.
Like that's only momentarily. That's not the same thing as like soggy
If you
bread.
Google
Soggy bread is
noodle sandwich,
disgusting.
noodle sandwich is absolutely a thing in loads of places.
Oh my god, really? Oh, we'll make noodle
Yeah,
sandwiches
I've had
then.
a yakisoba pan before.
Oh my
Ooh,
god.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Flint
That's
makes
the-
some bread
I
sandwich
just feel
fun.
like bread in Japan is so bad, and I feel like putting noodles in it wouldn't make it better or worse. It's like very, 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 very different from European bread.
Mm.
I will let you guys know when I go in April what it's like. I will specifically have a noodle sandwich.
Take a pic for us.
I will.
Yeah.
You have to have a katsu sando for me.
I will.
It's so good.
Nintendo sounds so good.
The good things.
What's sando?
Sando sandwich in Japanese.
Oh, right, literally got it.
So you get.
I should never let slip on stream that I ever like studied anything.
Yeah, you
The whole word is sandoichi.
katsu sando. I like that you're like, no, I do know the word. It's the proper word. This one. It's good.
I know, I'm definitely trying to claw back my reputation, my non-existent reputation.
So, speaking of which, as the first week rolls on by,
Rolls. So many rolls.
so many rolls, thousands of rolls, in fact, as you get this like a little jolt as you come out of hyperspace, and you see in front of you a giant triangle type space station, a bit small, like a lot smaller than SG-199, but you see a lot of spaceships coming out of hyperdrive from different angles here, and there's a big neon sign that says hyperdrive in, and Flint, you know this is the time to turn off your hyperdrive, as you only have one skip in it, so it can only go for a week. But you're at the halfway point, and this is why this thing is built here, because people aim for this and take a little time to relax, and it's like a truck stop almost. There's where you get new foods and all sorts of things.
Okay. So I guess we'll pull over there.
Mhm.
Like, Flint like goes over to comes like, will we come in for a dog? Around 75.
Sorry, we're trying to be serious.
No, I wasn't. I was joking. I don't think you do that.
Do like an airline thing. Exits are on your left and right.
Please do not open the doors and let Daisy out. Thank you.
A valid concern. Valid concern.
She will go.
Okay. Yeah. So as you pull into the hyperdrive in, you go into a airlocked section. You got like a tractor beam that kind of pulls you in as you like land your ship down, and there's a big looks like a big mall area where there's all sorts of like clothing and foods and all sorts of advertisement and weapon shops, apothecaries, and robot tinkering shops and stuff. An arcade.
An
As,
arcade.
as we're kind of like heading in, Neon is going to be like, I guess the Hyperdrive Inn, an excellent place for weary space travelers to unwind. I recommend the chicken wings.
You're so good.
That's so cute. Oh, this is so handy. We got a tour guide. Thanks, Neon.
You're welcome.
Is this
Um,
what you used to do? Like, show people around? No? Okay, well. Good talk.
Neil's got like loading symbol.
Suffering. So with hyper jump, so we get one skip.
Yeah.
How does it come back? Is it just like wait? It just has to wait.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, it just has to load. How long does it take?
Loading screen.
A
Yeah.
couple of hours.
Right. Flint was just like, we could stop here for a couple hours for the skip to recharge. So go do whatever you want, but come back here in 2 hours.
It's like a cruise.
Hmm.
Yeah. You have to run around like crazy trying to get anything done.
Okay. So, at the Hyperdrive Inn, there's a lot of different people here, and you are technically in the Galactic Empire of the Seers now, so you do see it being policed by, Seer guards wearing these white uniforms, full face like masks. Although they're quite casual, they're not like heavily, like patrolling. You just see some like having coffee, and as you kind of like walk in from the spaceport, you do just see this flashing sign, of a robot that looks more like a more refined Neon, and it has a big sign that says, "Try the chicken wings."
That's really sad. I'm really sad at the idea that Neon was replaced.
Oh, Neon.
And you see a couple of these other tour guide bots like walking around, and you see like a family going along with them, and yeah, they're completely white. They have more of a humanoid style face, and they don't walk normally. They kind of shuffle a little more, to look like less threatening, like C-3PO style.
Let robots be threatening.
I think that Neon is like looking like they're gearing up to kind of launch into another explanation about something, and then sort of catches sight of these other robots, and kind of like their shoulders just drop a little bit.
No.
I liked your description, Johnny. You told me first, therefore, this is better.
I think you mean Neon.
I mean neon. No.
You just said it because Johnny is like really close to your face. Like, uncomfortably close.
You can
Johnny's-
barely read. Help.
Johnny's voice is like, try the chicken wing.
Is that what Johnny's voice sounds like?
Well, no, I was thinking of like, that text when it's like, it says something, but it's got all that writing coming off of it.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
I don't know how you'd voice that, but that was my attempt.
Okay, yeah, cool. I actually think that like you lose track of Johnny for a while. When they think no one is looking, they go and like try on a hat in the shop, and then they come back out and they haven't bought the hat.
Is that a fedora?
You have to have really good perception for you to have noticed.
I do.
Oh, okay.
I might. Oh no.
No,
Ver,
Doma does not.
No.
I'm
Yay!
rolling now.
Oh.
Thank you, Ver.
Doma does not. I forgot that Doma has a
Stupid
9 on
names.
passive.
Oh my god,
Okay.
13. Not that wisdomous.
And
Um,
like, Johnny thinks they're being stealthy, but everyone, I guess, sees them going into a shop and looking at clothes, and then tentatively.
Doma does not with a passive of 9.
So yeah, it would be really if anyone cared to like, you know, go in and. How does a hat sit on Johnny's head? I guess as well.
A great point. I think they look a little disappointed that it doesn't sit very well.
Aw.
I
Um,
mean, they don't look disappointed. They look completely blank. But you know,
internally.
You think you can tell in their like body language. I think they put this stuff away and then they just like slide back into the group as if nothing happened, and it's up to you whether or not you want to mention it.
What kind of hat is it?
That's a really good point.
I'm picturing like a fez or something, or not fez, or a fedora.
Fez.
Fez
Fez
would
would be
be
good too.
It's not a fedora.
Is it like a straw hat?
Oh, like a little farmer hat?
Okay,
Little
well they
touristy one.
yeah, well what hats are they selling? Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's just like it's a fucking trucker cap with like hyperdrive in written on it or something.
Oh,
Right?
that's so good.
If it's a gift shop.
Yeah.
It's a juggernaut one, you know.
I feel like it needs to have like a weird pun on it.
Hyperdrive in is a one.
I think hyperdrive in is a pretty good.
Yes. Well, it's like something you've seen the in, now try the wings or something. I don't know, that's not fun, but
That's not a pun, but it's actually
Well, there-
incredibly funny. So
I get the hyperdrive in, and all I got were these wings.
yeah, and then there's like no wings on the hat. It's a hat.
hyperdrive in gives you wings. They got sued by Red Bull.
That's very good.
Athra rolled a 21, so Athra saw Johnny trying on hats at least.
Listen, they've just slipped back in. They're standing near you.
Yeah.
You can talk to them about it. They do not bring it up.
I think they're just having fun. There's nothing to, if they want to try on a hat, that's fine. Don't let them revel in the moment.
Don't mind
Johnny,
them.
like,
Just cry a
definitely
little bit that they can't wear hats.
Yeah. Well, Doma might be able to wear like one of those visors that like poker players wear.
Oh yeah.
I feel like both of them have characters that means that they would go and try on hats by just fucking jamming them directly through horns. And then they're like, no, I don't want this. And they put it back on the shelf, like, 2 big holes in it.
This doesn't work.
Yes.
But like their horns are like, you know, like lightsabers, so just like slices like
Doma's courteous enough to turn off the horns.
Oh, they can turn off.
Sure, why not? Just make up this lore on the go.
He's kind of got a hat on already.
He does.
You have to get a tiny hat for the crown, so you can put it on one of the spikes.
I
So
feel like
your hat has a hat.
Well, he could get like a teeny, those like teeny tiny like cowboy hats that just go in between the horns.
It's
Oh my
like
god.
it's like if Flint wore hats, would he wear hats like this or like this?
Oh my god, yeah.
As you're walking around, you see people like look towards Praline, and a couple of people like, you know, like take pictures,
Hi, I'm gonna pose.
and like a small crowd gathers around Praline, and like a couple of people have like your issues of Juggernog, and
Juggernog? Is that the Christmas version?
yeah, it is the Christmas version, and Juggernaut, as you know, Juggernog, yeah.
Juggernog.
Do you know what? Do you know why I said Juggernog? It's a thing from Call of Duty, in the old games where you'd drink a drink called Juggernog.
Bad.
Bad.
I've changed my mind on it. It's bad now.
It's good. Yeah. So like people start coming out to Praline and taking photos, selfies and stuff.
Selfies.
And
Is
peop-
Praline like very excited to get photos, or does she try and normally charge for them? You know, at like meet and greets.
I'd never charge. My manager ain't here. Can't control me.
I maybe should have done my character.
so yeah, I'd say like 5 or 6 people like come and take photos with you, and one person asks, "What are you even doing here?"
That's Ian.
Sightseeing here?
Hmm?
Where are you heading?
Oh, just around, just seeing the sights. I'm not really picky.
Well, I won't pry too much into your life.
I just heard the chicken wings are so good.
They're pretty good. And he's got one of those chicken wing hats on. He like
Are they
tugs onto it.
And they like what it's famous for, but they're really bad.
Yeah, probably.
Also, in the background of all the pictures, people are like, "Oh, I got a really nice picture of me and Praline," and then it like when they, you know what I mean, they go and look at it on their little phone screen. And Johnny's just like deep in the background.
They put in like the red room and he just appears.
Yeah.
Wearing several hats.
Different hat in each one.
It's like
Yeah.
it's weird, you know, these pictures were taken so close to each other, but he's wearing more hats in the second one.
They seem to be growing more powerful with each photo.
Definitely getting a little closer to the screen each time, like a ball in a horror movie.
Gets a little bit closer, and the stack of hats gets a little bit higher with each picture.
So yeah, is there anything you guys would want to do while here? Is there like a specific treat that your character has been dying for on the trip that you weren't able to get, or a certain type of food that you would want?
I
Well-
was curious about the arcade.
Yep.
Does it have like old school kind of things like Dance Revolution?
In this world, it's Dance Dance Evolution.
Or
Uh,
I'd like to have I'm gonna go make some sweet shapes.
So as you go into the arcade, you know, you have a lot of younger kids there, you know, playing sort of shooter games. There's a couple of like speeder bike games. As you go to Dance Dance Evolution, that has on one side a like it shows like the evolution of man, and then like at the end, like he's dancing, as you know, you can hop on, and there's a small following of people with you as you go into an arcade as well.
Excellent.
As you pop in your Electrum, and it, you know, the music comes up, as I guess are you going for it?
Hell yeah!
Okay, performance checks, please.
Oh no.
11. Okay.
Not too bad.
Not terrible. The first
Is it
one,
one of the singular ones, or is it like a competitive one where there's two side by side?
this one's a singular one. There's an opposite machine on the other side. But
Is it like a very stylish performance, but not getting a lot of the points? Like so stylish that it doesn't.
She's not abiding by the laws of this game.
The game is obviously telling her not to do the arm motions, but she's still doing it.
yeah, for
She's a
sure.
showman.
You know, people are like, taking out their phones, recording you and stuff.
That seems really dangerous. Keep it a low profile.
Should have left her on the ship.
You know, as like you dance a couple of times, people cheer and stuff. I feel like you're just kind of, you know, having fun with it, not really like paying attention to whatever's on screen.
Oh yeah.
And do you just stay here for most of the time?
Absolutely.
Okay.
This is the stay. This is my pit stop.
I think Johnny also is in the arcade most of the time. I think they're fascinated by this aspect of, humanoid culture.
Okay.
I don't think they have any programming about like fun, so it's like completely new to them.
Yeah.
In fact, when everyone else like leaves the arcade, Johnny is just like pressing at buttons on a machine, and when you come back, they've got the high score on every single game in like a row.
Yeah.
What's the name that they leave?
Just all X's. Incognito.
10110.
It's an in joke. Only if you can read the binary.
You see a couple of like terror drones walk past and they laugh and then they like move on.
I feel like it'd just be words like toot and bum and
It's all the curse words that Dome has ever used.
Johnny doesn't understand fun. That's definitely not something that they think is fun. And also, I think that maybe they still have like a lust for blood, so they just want to win. They want to win every
God.
single game in this room.
Yeah.
No, I just mean the lust for blood isn't like exactly what's motivating them here, but I think their competitiveness is both part of their lust for blood and also part of them wanting to win every single machine in the room.
Make a dexterity check.
Oh no! Oh, I can't believe you're gonna make me do this because I don't think my dexterity is any good at all. Do I just click on dex?
Yeah. Just
Yeah. Oh, it's so bad.
Okay. So it's a 6.
They're using Mage Hand to play on the different machines at the same time.
So you're, obviously there's a lot of terror drones that come through here that can play games as quick as you, and they're
Johnny's just playing really quick but really bad.
So it's I feel like there's like terror drone specific games as well because it's so like
Johnny doesn't like this.
yeah. So like it'll be like either like a Pac-Man style game that you have, but your motions are, they're not smooth and they don't like flow nicely like a normal person. They're very like janky and like.
Yeah, I think I drew them with their hands like not connected to their body either, right? So I think that maybe their fingers don't have to be connected. They're just like jabbing, but like not.
Yeah.
Obviously not at the right time.
I feel like your head like tilts and stuff as well, like to read what's happening on the screen, and
they lose the game and their head just spins 360 degrees in irritation.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. As those guys are in the arcade causing mayhem. What is Neon up to?
I feel like Neon went to the arcade as well, but they're trying to win stuff in the crane machines.
Okay. Make a dexterity check.
I feel like Neon is not like very competitive. They just think it looks fun. Dexterity. That's a 20. Not enough.
That's pretty good.
We want a little knockoff Pikachu.
Okay. What would be a thing that Neon would go for? Like visually, would it be like a plushy android type thing, or would it be more like an animal, or like a chibi plant or something?
Oh my god, like a chibi plant thing, like a sunflower or something.
Okay. Yeah, as you put your Electrum in, and you can tell that it's almost robot-proof games. Like it doesn't let you be as quick as you would want it to be. There's actually like a very slow motion because like it's got that very slow crane, and it swings a lot, so it's very more hard for terror drones to win the system, I guess. As you are able, it slowly rocks down. It grabs the base of the sunflower pot, and you pick up, and it drops. Blue, blue, blue. As everything like lights up.
Neon does a little shuffle from one foot to the other. And does a happy little tune.
Did he like mimic the like the victory sound?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Neon's too cute. I love how we've got two robots in this group and they're polar opposites to me.
I think then Neon is gonna take it and they're gonna like take the jacket off and wrap it around it to hide it. And then whenever Praline is done with Dance Dance Evolution, Neon is going to go over and be like, got you a little present to say sorry for giving you a bit of a scare the other night. And just like pull back the jacket to reveal this little sunflower.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry. Oh, I'm gonna. She just jumps in for a big hug.
As you get flash, 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 as people take pictures.
Oh no.
Oh, the river girl.
And like the hard cuts to like next day print. Who is this android man that Praline's seeing?
Oh my god. Yeah, I feel like
I
Neon
was reading. Sorry.
Sorry, I was just gonna say Neon just like freezes and buffers for a second, and then gives the hug back.
Just imagine Doma reading it the next day, and she's just like, "Oh, of course."
Throws the magazine on the ground.
Damn it!
I waited too long to make my move.
So what's Doma and Afra and Flynn up to?
Flynn's probably gone to buy more food and stuff. Keep the kitchen good and stocked, and buy some food for Daisy
Okay.
and some more snacks.
What snacks do Flip buy?
Oh, they're not for him.
Okay.
Just like he might buy some general snacks, but also just I meant snacks for Daisy.
Oh,
Like a
okay.
little treat.
So you go to like your like little convenience store and just
Yay!
take your little hover cart of stuff.
Buy some pop poodles.
Yeah. It's got like a little goblin on it that just says Pop Boodle.
Oh, I love it.
The
Maybe
galaxy's
we'll,
favorite noodle treat.
Pop poodles. Oh, yes.
Maybe while Flint's doing that, Athra would take Daisy to like, I don't know, like if there's anywhere like for like just walking around, like take her and like exercise her a bit, because I imagine like while we've been traveling, it's basically just been like running around the cargo hold with her.
Yeah.
But like, you know, she can't be trusted in a shop. She would eat everything, so I'm not gonna take her in there. Take her for a little run instead or something.
Sure.
She goes for the chicken wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like
Try
a
and keep her out of trouble.
there's like a almost like a dog park section off to the side, and some like little bubble, and you can
Yeah,
just see like
over there.
people smoking and just like the weirdest creatures like running by playing with each other. You know, there's like a bear and what else would there be? You know, dogs, large tigers. There's like a unicorn.
Playing fetch.
Yeah, just like all sorts of weird things as like Daisy goes out and like, you know, plays with other creatures.
Tries to steal their toys. What Barry does. It's a ball thief.
Yeah, she's a ball thief and then destroys it within seconds. So it's like
Yeah.
it's gone. It's gone if she's got it.
Always gotta have like some
extra cash on you at the dog park to pay for destroyed toys. Like, sorry about that.
I love it. Does Afra just like Daisy does stuff, or are you like holding onto Daisy the entire time?
Nah, you would play with her.
Okay.
Play tag with her. Like, run up and like smack her on the butt and then run away.
Nice. What's Doma up to then?
I think she'd have sort of gone with Flint to the convenience store, but she'll look for anywhere that has like planting stuff for her little tiny greenhouse, or and maybe another tiny greenhouse that she can maybe grow for tiny flowers in.
Yep. It's like it's a cool thing that people do. You know, it's like a niche, micro gardening.
I imagine like the prices are inflated because we're at like a drugstore as well. She's just getting mad.
Yeah, it's like a tiny little shovel.
Flint comes over and he's just like, "Why are you buying that stuff?"
It keeps me calm. It's just really soothing to, plant and fertilize and, go around doing the jobs that we do. Need a little bit of, like, peace. It's comforting.
Yeah, I get that, but why did you get the smallest one? Like, you can't do nothing with it.
Tiny bouquets are cute. I just like small things.
Actually, are you growing any little carrots?
Oh, yeah, and the one I've already got, I was gonna pick up some more seeds because they're about ready to go. Do you want to use them?
Well, I was
They're
thinking
pretty
maybe
cute.
I can make some carrot cake and pop them on top.
Yes. I don't think I've had carrot cake in too long.
It's the funniest cake.
It's gonna look even better with teeny tiny carrots.
Well, if we put them in a row, then it look like they're growing in the cake, and it'll be just. He
Like a
looks
tiny carrot farm.
Yeah, his face is like very still, but he looks quite pleased.
Oh.
There's just like pleased look on his face. So right, I'll get the ingredients, and I'll meet you outside. Then we'll find everyone else. I think they're still at the arcade.
I could get tiny lemons. Make tiny lemon cake with tiny lemons on top.
Carrot cake will do fine.
I think it takes a second, like, when Flint walks away and Dome is just like, "Oh, I held a conversation. Oh my god."
So proud.
She's so pleased with herself. Her little laser tail starts flicking. You just hear like the vum 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 noise.
When Flynn walks off, he's just like, lemon cake.
Lemon cake's the best. I'm gonna fight you.
No, sounds funny. It's carrot cake.
I love lemon cake.
Lemon cake's the best.
No, you're wrong. Carrot cake's the best.
They're both pretty great.
No.
I like fruit in my food.
But carrots?
Vegetables.
Carrots are the best vegetable. Can you make a parsnip cake?
I was just thinking that. I was like, I better not derail, but
Don't see why not. I've made a beetroot cake before.
This is some good discourse.
Cake
Cho-
discourse.
chocolate beetroot cake is real nice.
Oh.
good.
What is a beetroot?
I made it.
Beetroot? What is a beetroot?
that's the sound
makes
Neon
it-
makes.
It makes it very moist.
Yeah.
Moist.
Beep roop.
Moist.
This is the good thing about sci-fi is it lets you really explore like the big questions.
Like what beetroot brings to the table.
These are one of Doma's questions for a questionnaire. What does beetroot bring to the table?
Yes.
I really, really want Flint to go on Dance Dance Evolution, but I know he won't, and it upsets me greatly, but I really want him to.
Can he not just do it with a completely straight face?
Yeah,
It's-
but he's so
it's-
good!
Fun and
Yeah,
after
excited.
yeah, Dance Dance Evolution.
Yeah. Imagine they're absolute pros at it.
Yeah, they have like a synchronized routine.
Didn't we actually discuss Flint and
Yeah.
Afro having a synchronized routine of some sort of dance?
A million years ago.
That's amazing.
I
when
have
we
to
first
agree.
made
I
them, 'cause we
think
thought
they
it would be
should,
funny.
should just become philosophers.
Mm.
Why are we like this?
Oh God, I had so much other planned for this fucking session.
It's just like the Beyond Skeletons game where we joked about like, haha, 3 months of downtime, we'll just RP every day, and then that
paid,
is
like,
kind of actually
4
happening.
hours.
We got through about 4 hours in a session. It's like, okay.
Yep.
Playing minute by minute.
you know, I am to blame here as well, but you know, I just looked at like the time and I was went, oh fuck, I had like so much other planned.
I hope no one minds that's listening into this that we have just
Yeah.
we've done world building and character building today.
So when they die later, it's more impactful.
You'll be sad.
I don't know. I was it felt like very high adrenaline when what turned out to be Daisy in the walls of the ship.
Oh yeah.
That was
Well,
enough.
Guy was ready to fight.
Yeah. I absolutely would have killed Daisy.
I'm not ready.
I'm so happy Doma did not bring out the poison. When you said it, I was like, oh.
Me too. I am happy.
So as you get your tiny terrarium plant building kits, everyone spends a lot of time at the arcade. You know, does Neon do any other games, or does Neon just do the one game?
I feel like they'd go around and have a go at some of the others, but it's not like any attempt to sort of win everything. It's just like, oh, this looks fun.
Do you want to roll and see if you're better than Johnny?
Do
Even
it. Do it.
What am I rolling?
So it would be a dex for the.
I did straight decks, yeah.
17.
Johnny,
Um,
what are you gonna do?
I feel like as you play a game and do infinitely better than Johnny, they just immediately stop playing games. They completely stop and like rotate towards Neon and are like, I thought games were supposed to be fun. I'm not sure I can understand the function.
Well, you know, like it's just a fun challenge. Just, you know, passes the time a little bit.
I wasn't built for this kind of thing, and I don't see why. It's Johnny just goes to like stand somewhere else in the room. They just stand still for the rest of the time waiting.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I was just trying to understand this element of sort of organic culture, and I can't, so.
I don't think it's that deep, to be honest.
Well, that's because you're programmed to understand it.
Jesus. Oh man.
I don't think I'm necessarily programmed to understand.
Well,
fun
you
stuff.
seem to.
Well, I guess maybe you just, maybe like I'm just more easily pleased because I tend to take everything at face value and see everything kind of optimistically, but you like kind of logic and challenges, and so you tend to want to do more things, and you're always pushing yourself to do better, and maybe that's why you feel less satisfaction.
I mean, I'm older tech than you are, so it wouldn't surprise me if it was easier for you.
I suppose so. I've never really thought about it. I've never really thought about how old tech compares to new tech, and then
Well, I have. Every time I try to plug into anything, everything I have is outdated.
yeah, I guess that must be kind of awkward. Is there anything that I can do to help you out? If you have
I don't need any help.
Okay.
Oh boy. That's a yikes.
They're just grumpy.
Like clenched teeth emoji over here.
Grumpy and ready to murder.
Maybe I'll go get some of that blood that I've been desiring.
No, they're just perfectly still.
There, as you like standing like next to each other, another terror drone comes over, with a holding a little token machine, and he comes over and he says, "Hi, welcome to the arcade of the Hyperdrive Inn. Would you like a commemorative stamp?"
Yeah, sure.
That will be 1 electrum, please.
Okay.
Can you turn robots off?
Oh my god. Are you trying to murder this robot?
No, can you just like put them into sleep mode?
You would have to like, find like a panel or something and turn them off. So it would be quite intrusive.
The space station.
There's not like a plug, but you'd have to like, go into like their back or their back of their heads and find something.
I just wanted to know if Johnny could turn them off with Mage Hand.
Johnny!
Potentially. That's what you wanted to do.
I think they try, yeah.
Okay. So he takes your coin, Neon, and he puts it through and starts to like flatten it.
I love those things.
And as Johnny, make a. How aggressive are you? Are you just like opening his panel and pulling it out, or are you being like sly about it?
No, I would. I don't think it is aggressive because I don't think that they're like angry in a like on this. They're like angry in a cold way. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They just want to see if they can figure out where this, like what they can pull to change it.
Make an intelligence check.
Oh my god, it's my best stat.
11. Okay.
Angry.
You locate a panel at the nape of the neck that they have. They're a very basic model. Again, these are luxury drones, so they're thinner. They have simple body plating, and he's branded by the Hyperdrive Inn. And you locate the panel, and you can kind of loosen it as he's cranking it and focusing on Neon. Are you wanting to like turn off his power, I guess?
Yeah, I don't think it's. Again, I'd like to emphasize that I don't think that Johnny is like trying to destroy them forever.
Mm-hmm.
right? It's just like a sleep button
Yeah.
that they might have at the end of the day. That's what people, you know.
So what does Johnny's mage hand look like? I can't remember if we've seen it or not.
So they actually have hands that detach from their body, but I guess mage hand is like a separate thing to that. So I guess I don't think it looks very much like a hand.
Okay.
I think it's like a series of shapes that are like swirling around, and they can like configure themselves into a hand shape if they need to do a gesture that needs like opposable thumbs.
Okay. So yeah, you have this like amorphous figure going to the back, and you turn it's like a ball joint almost that's like loose and it's kind of glowing. You turn it, and he just like looks at Neon and goes, "Shutting down," and it's like halfway through the press, and he's like head dips, diagnostics running.
Does he like fall or is he still standing?
He's still standing. He just dips his head, holding this like little machine.
Neon just has like an exclamation mark pops up on the visor. Like, what happened?
I don't like them.
Wait. Did you do something?
I don't like watching them moving around with all these sort of, they've been fed things to say. They're walking around to the same people every day saying the same thing. I don't like it.
Well, it doesn't mean you have to turn them off.
I'm sure someone else or another one of them will come and turn them back on.
That just because you don't like something that someone is doing doesn't mean they don't like it, or that you can just do what you want to them.
Why can't I do what I want to them?
Because that's a really bad thing to do. What if I did something you didn't like? Would you turn me off?
I think Journey actually like pauses at that. You hear the beginning of a sound like they're about to just be like yes, like why wouldn't I turn you off as well? But they actually stop after beginning to make the sound. Well, but I know you. I don't not like you.
Well, I appreciate that you don't not like me, but even if you don't know someone, that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want.
But they're all reminders of how the programming is used, and you're not, and they are.
Maybe they're happy. I'm gonna try and turn the robot back on, Terradrone.
Okay. You kind of look on the back and you see that this like blue ball at the back of his head is like turned red, and it's almost like it's kind of like an egg timer, and you just turn it to be like onto a like it ticks like an egg timer, goes and it powers up again, and it testing online. Hello. And he starts
Hi.
cranking the machine again. I suddenly went offline.
Oh, well, that's okay. These things happen.
And he gives you the little shimmering blue of the Electrum piece coin, and hands it over, and it has hyperdrive in, and it has like a little chicken wing on it.
Neon like holds it up to the light and is like, look how pretty. I think now I think about it, I might already have a few of these, but never mind. Thank you.
You're welcome. And looks towards Johnny, and just says, "Hi, welcome.
No.
Have a nice day." And it just starts walking away, and then you can hear the same thing it repeating to like other people.
I think Johnny is a bit quieter after this, right? I feel like maybe when Neon won the game, it wasn't really clear like what Johnny was gonna do, but now they're like calm.
Okay.
Like they're just thinking about what Neon said.
As Flint, like a dad coming to pick up his kids from the arcade.
He's got his shopping bags.
Yeah.
Is Afra and Doma there as well?
I guess they would be with you, Flint, as Afra was walking.
Yeah. Caught back up after wrestling Daisy.
Yeah. Flint's gonna turn to Afra and be like, "Darling, do you reckon they have a intercom code the video star on that Dance Dance Revolution?"
Shall we find out?
Confirm. I feel like Flint likes this machine because it tells him what to do. So he's like, "Yes, I can do this."
Okay.
Is there like a doubles one?
Yeah, there will be.
Yeah. Puts down his shopping bags.
Yeah, you see Praline like still crowded with people like dancing around.
I don't know how Flint's gonna do this in his shoes, but we'll see. It's got those like platforms.
Find out.
Does he take off his shoes off, or I know
Maybe
people do that in
because
general for dance
I
dance.
think he would because it would be a bad idea. But he
Yeah.
just gets like
I don't think
3
it would.
inches shorter.
The machine wouldn't read his feet if he didn't take
Yeah.
his shoes off.
Yeah. So he just shrinks by like 3 inches.
Okay. So as you put in your money, the song comes on. Welcome to Dance Dance Evolution. Are you ready? Okay. I guess performance checks.
Nice.
Absolutely Athra's forte.
Oh, nailed it. 7. Flynn's
Long as
very
you have
slow
fun.
and dead inside.
Afra gees it though.
Yeah. I feel like this is how it always is.
And the car killed the radio star.
That's the only song I would dance to and dance mat. That's the only one I could do. So I was like, yes.
Okay, so Flint, I feel like you're just like standing on the points it tells you to. You don't like throw any flair into it.
Oh yeah, he's just doing exactly what it says to do, and he's doing it very straight faced and robotically.
Mhm.
He's having a good time.
You can't use that word.
Yeah.
As Afra, you like throw in like the extra arm movements and like a couple of twists, and you kind of blow Flint's score pretty far out of the water. A couple of people like film Afra as well, like being next to Praline.
Yeah, go Athra!
Athra
Flint-
thinks that Flint did great.
Thanks. I think Flint, as Athra's dancing, he kind of like looks over and slaps his tail on one of the things. It's like, so it registers, and he's just like, hee hee.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you both dance off with each other, and Afra kind of doubles your score almost. Flint.
Well done, darling. And you give Athra a little peck on the cheek.
Someone takes a photo, and it's like, who are these people?
Can I mind knife their phone?
Yeah, their phone just explodes.
People are weird here.
Yeah. Let's go back to the ship. I'm making carrot cake.
So you just like
You just stand on the arrows as it goes up.
Yeah. The screen tells you where to go when you go there.
Oh, well, good job.
Is Doma gonna have a go?
She's never done it before, but I maybe.
Do it,
Yeah.
do it.
Powered legs.
Do you want to
yeah,
have a dance off with someone?
yeah. I guess you'd just be like, well, Praline, you look like you know what you're doing. Would you like to have a go with me?
Dance off, let's do it. Just gonna jump through the people and grab Doma's arms and drag her on. Let's go, let's go.
Flint's gonna get his shoes back on and pick up the shopping so no one tramples on it.
Do some bad karate moves like. Good girl, gang.
Don't kick my ass too much, okay? I'm a first timer.
It's okay, I'm not very good either, but it's fun.
Okay. She actually has one of these machines on her ship.
Yes, we drive it.
It's set up in room 2. It's not actually her dressing room. It's a whole DDR machine.
Okay. Performance checks from you guys as well. Oh!
Never done this before, my ass.
Probably with 13, Adoma with a 20. Natural
backflips.
19.
Too blown away by Doma.
Yeah, Doma, what's your performance like?
Oh wow. I guess like she'd have after it looked like they knew what they were doing, so I think she's like based it a little bit off of that.
Mhm.
So got some of the arm movements. I know there's usually like little dances on the screen, so she's like copying that because that's what Flint said. Like, oh, it tells you what to do, so she just copied all like the whole thing. And like she's surprisingly nimble despite how like clunky her legs are because she's got like on her big people legs.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, as you're like dancing around and you know, I would like to hear like the sound of like your legs as you're like jumping and doing like you know, it's just like boom, 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 boom. The floor is like bouncing.
With the odd bit of like steam or something.
Yeah.
To help her like really reach them, like she extends like the tip of her foot back if her leg doesn't move.
Oh yeah, like actually using like the mechanics of your feet, just like
Absolutely.
That's awesome. But yeah, you know, Praline just getting it as always. Does pretty good. Nothing to be shameful about, but Doma's just like actually like crushes it.
She's like super smiling as well, and it's probably like the first time like she's done it properly. Like she's done like the half smiles and like the polite smiles, but it looks like she's actually had a really good time. She's never done this before.
I think just got stars in her eyes like, you got like perfects on all the steps.
It was fun. I just did what it told me to.
Right? You have rhythm.
I sure do. And she gives Praline a wink. I'll have to show you some more moves next time.
Absolutely. I can barely hear steps, but that was amazing.
Well, I assumed you were going to be fantastic. I didn't want to be left behind. And you did well. Thank you for not kicking my ass too much.
Not that good.
As we'll say Neon and Johnny make their way over, as everyone kind of gathers up for the for meeting up with Flint with all his shopping and Praline with their shopping as well.
Chicken wings.
Chicken
Chicken
wings.
wing hat.
It's in the shape of a wing.
Oh.
It's got little
It's like
wings
Dingy
at the side.
Boppers.
Got
Do-
it for Johnny.
Yeah, do you guys like get like a bucket of chicken to go or anything, or
Yeah,
I feel like we should try it. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
like
Neon recommended it.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Neon can't eat.
that's so good. Yeah, so as you know take your buck away, there's like a gift shop in like the chicken place to be like, you know, all these hyperdrive-ins. I tried the you know, I got this chicken, you know, all sorts of weird souvenirs. There's like a chicken leg bauble for the front of your car and stuff. It's all ridiculous. As y'all take chicken to go, it's like mediocre. It's fine.
Flint loves it. He's like, this is great. So plain.
As you head into back to your ship with potentially some more different thoughts on when you came in about each other. You hop back into your seat as you're ready to hyperdrive once again. You know, you see a couple of terror drones, you know, cleaning up your ship. You know, a couple of dwarfs and humans as well that you know, just double check and like inspect all over your ship to make sure it's all okay.
Probably should have got parts to fix all the bits that Daisy chewed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Duct
You
tape.
could say we picked that up at the shops.
If you want to, this should be fine. As
Sure.
you know, hop back on your
It's right
ship.
next to the cake batter.
A pipe.
Yeah. Wiring.
Is this Space Brothers Bluethorn?
Sort of, yeah. As you sit back in, you ready your cake for making, and you slam the button for another hyperdrive. As you fly out. But as you fly out, it almost feels like something has, you know, you get like a distance, as like it's like a split second, but you go a distance, but it feels like something interrupted your, you know, complete departure into full thrust. As you kind of turn and look around, with Johnny and the comms, you just start seeing like blips of ships surrounding you, and you just hear over your intercom, "Give up now. Give us what you got in the hold." And we'll pick it up there next time.
Oh no.
You're trying to take our chicken wings.
I know. Do we have anything in the hold?
No?
Praline being too famous.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it might be
damn it.
Praline. Is she in the hold right now? Where is she?
Oh no, I'm in the hole with the chicken wings.
Yeah, and
It's just it's Doma's tiny greenhouse just sitting there in the middle of the hole. The camera just does that dun 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 zoom in into the.
it's just Daisy's
into the
face.
greenhouse.
Da, 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 da.
She's just blapping.
Yeah.
She's just
Uh,
having a good time.
and we'll pick it up there next time, where we might finish it.
Probably not. I mean, you've given us.
We
another
might.
week.
Yeah, we might get to Mercy 7 maybe.
So this Dance Evolution, isn't there?
I know. Someone nicked it. That's what they're after.
Mm.
I love Dance Evolution. That sounds.
That was
Was-
really good. Did you make that from the
Very
spot?
quick.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I mean, revolution to evolution, I will say, is not the biggest of brain moves, but you know, I do like the thought of it, like turn from like, you know, monkey to man to a dancing dude. It's pretty good.
Very good. Very fat boy slip.
Mm.
It's like those
Galaxy
t-shirts.
brain moment.
Galaxy brain. That's definitely like a sweet. Galaxy brain sweets.
No.
I was like brain lickers. Do you remember them?
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
awful.
yeah.
But I think that was a pretty good sesh. I kind of just don't want this to be a one shot anymore, but you know, it's just like so
I mean,
good.
it's not a one shot, is it? This is our second game.
It's
and
not a
even
one
close to
shot
being finished.
unless all of us suddenly kill each other towards the end of the campaign.
Yeah.
For no reason I can imagine.
What a threatening aura. I hate it.
I know, it's so good. I feel like you get so much depth into like the world from like their two perspectives of this, like, you know, subservient terror drone programming to then like Johnny being like, no, this isn't right.
I love it's those two having like deep conversations in the corner while everyone else is playing Dance Dance Evolution.
I love everyone's characters so much.
Yeah,
Neon is so good, but it's also weird because it means I don't want to play in a character that upsets Neon. But I think maybe inherently Johnny is quite upsetting.
Yeah. A little bit.
Yes, a little bit.
Basically a creepy pasta we've confirmed at this point. So
My problem with playing Flint is he's such like a deadpan, dead inside boy. Well, I'm really weird and want to do weird things. I'm like, he wouldn't do that.
I mean, he can do them. He just has to do them in a deadpan way.
I know.
You know, he can do dance dance.
Scottish I've ever heard you sound, Leo.
What was that? Sorry.
I know.
You sounded the most Scottish I've ever heard you sound. I know.
Oh, I know.
I don't know what came of me.
Just possessed you for a second.
Um,
Main problem with Athra is he just doesn't talk that much. He's really quiet.
but then
He's just like
He's
twiddling his
baby.
thumbs. Yes. Just sitting in the corner knitting.
plaited hair.
Yeah.
yeah, but
I do really like the image of like Praline and Doma having this like kind of awkward conversation while at the same time Praline's like knitting, like braiding his hair and he's knitting and he's just like, God, these two definitely fancy each other. With me.
This is
I
her
love that.
maximum multitasking.
Flynn and Afra
Yeah.
talk about it a lot before bed.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Gossip. Just like, oh my God, you think those two are gonna hook up?
I just love Doma's like, I'm gonna lean against this wall and slide down.
it's very good.
Very endearing.
I love that she said that you both said nice about 50 times in one conversation.
Hey, look.
It's too real. It's too real.
Praline can barely read. Her vocal range isn't very wide.
It's nice.
Roman's just an
Nice.
idiot.
You mean her vocabulary?
Yeah.
On the same wavelength.
I genuinely thought Praline was gonna die at that point. Hey, no, you,
Start of
me?
Johnny picking us off one by one.
Oh my god. It's like
Dude.
Midsummer.
Johnny turning off that robot is fucking dark.
Yeah.
So dark. He was just like, I turned off because I didn't like it. And I was like, Jesus, Johnny.
Imagine
was
like, a child
horrified.
who hasn't had anyone raising them.
Yeah. I destroyed the city because I didn't like it. Yeah, it's like, okay.
Like, oh god.
I turned off the
I love
city.
it that, like, going from, like, from robot to robot, you go, ooh, and oh.
Yeah, I know, right?
I think Johnny's very cute. And
They are very
I'm not
cute.
going to change my mind on that.
I love
Mhm.
Johnny.
Athra's gonna knit Johnny a hat.
Oh, with a little pom pom on it.
This
Oh.
android all the
With
hats.
one with little ear flaps.
It would just have to roll to see whether Johnny wears it or incinerates it on site.
We'll see.
Like a cute fuzzy like Deerstalker type hat.
Mm,
Yeah.
it's very
I
good.
love it.
Okay, so yeah, I think we'll be good. I don't know if anyone else is streaming right now for raiding or anything. But I will. There's all the lovely people in chat that you can go check out. We have a bunch of people in here that stream also. Zombie Octopus streams. Crew streams sometimes as well. Top Banana streams on Feline Trickster's channel.
Yeah, I stream, but not on my Twitch.
Yeah. So you can check them out
I
there.
barely understand Twitch.
It makes no sense to me.
But yeah, I think that was very successful. Johnny delivered on being sweet and creepy, which I'm pleased with. You got to see more about the characters, and we derailed, which is great.
It's always gonna happen.
It was. I actually was worried today that I was like, this is gonna go by so fast. Like I've got to really think about all these, I was ideally getting to this point at our break.
That's very ambitious, Sandy. I think you probably know how
Yeah.
to play by now. Like,
You know it's better than that.
Yeah.
D&D right.
So we'll see if we do the second part of what was this session in the first half of the next session, or we go to the 4.
Or if this just becomes the whole campaign.
God,
Yeah.
please
How
don't.
many hats can Johnny wear?
You haven't suffered enough.
I know.
It'll be Beyond Skeletons all over again, where we're like, oh, this is a silly pirate campaign that we'll play for like a little while, and we're on like session 35 or something.
Yeah. It's good though. It's definitely like a different pace of normal fantasy. Again, we're not playing D&D, right? This isn't D&D. We're just kind of hanging out and speaking, and sometimes we make rolls. I could just say like roll a D20, and you'd be like, okay, like it has nothing to do with D&D most of the time, which I think is very fun.
Just making sure everybody's really attached to all the characters, so if any of us die, it's really awful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what one shots are for. I mean, come on, if Flint dies or Afra dies, that's gold.
No.
That's
don't.
gold.
That's you having to deal with me coming into the room and crying,
Hmm.
and maybe not letting you stay in bed.
Hmm.
I feel like everyone would be chill about Johnny dying, which is why Johnny shouldn't die.
Yeah,
But
no.
perhaps, maybe they turn on everyone else. Just depends how things go.
Like everyone's out, like getting the last thing, but Johnny's first back to the ship and just takes off. Ooh.
Oh my God, Harry!
Hmm.
I will go find you in
See that?
London.
I haven't done it. That was
Well, show up at your house.
I am very protective of Flint. Flint is my baby. I will mess you up.
As Johnny flies away, saying
That's why I had it.
nothing personal, just business.
God.
But I feel like that's the point for me of playing. It's a one shot, or like, it's just gonna be a couple of sessions, so I can play a character that like could turn on everyone,
Yeah, exactly, right?
or could die,
Yeah.
or just could be really sweet. Everyone's just really nice to Johnny, and they.
We just don't
you
know.
Neither
I'm
do I.
pretty
It's a lot
sure.
of fun.
I'm pretty sure Arthur could kill Johnny with one hit if he needed to.
Well, hold on.
Johnny
They're
is a wizard.
Well,
Wizard
we'll
beat
see about
barbarian.
that. See about that next session. I've got some points. I got some tricks up my sleeves, in my sleeves, in my
In your-
arms,
in
in your
arms.
arm casing.
just in my sort of chassis.
I feel like if Praline dies or Doma dies and that like relationship never gets fulfilled as well, that would be gold.
No, stop it,
Devastating.
Sandy.
Yeah.
You're the worst.
I'm not the worst. I'm the best.
Well, okay.
SMH my head, dude.
It's true. I feel like if Neon dies, I would just be sad.
That would be tragic.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll end it there, and we'll hopefully play again very shortly, and not have as much of a break as in between prior. And I will end it there. So good night to everyone, and speak to you guys soon.